Back home at McKeon Park, Hyannis looks to rebound off a tough loss last night in a game called due to darkness. A Hardbox lineup that put up 7 runs will try and salvage some leftover fireworks against a Cotuit team that's had some bumps on the road over the last couple games themselves. Hyannis sends Minnesota arm Sam Thorson to the hill against North Carolina State product Reed Johnson. It's the Harbor Hawks and the Kettleers on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hi, everyone. Pleased to welcome you all into the broadcast tonight. Alongside Lyle Goldstein, I'm Brendan Howe. And Lyle, let's touch upon last night, a 4th of July game that was called at YD due to darkness, a 9-7 loss in 7 innings for this Hyannis team. And over the past couple games, the offense has been there, but the trend has just been the pitching has not been picking it up. It's been tough.
Yeah, it has, and road games haven't really phased them. In fact, like we talked about a bit last night, they actually hit better when they're on the road. So last couple nights, in fact, 3 of their last 4 games, you look at Cotuit, at Orleans, at YD, the offense has really started to come on. A couple times late in the game, at YD, it was kind of spread out across the board. So the offense is starting to click. They're starting to put together some multi-run innings, and they're starting to score in bunches a bit. It's just a matter of closing out games, and they were almost there last night. Last night, they didn't play any come from behind baseball. I mean, well, they did, but it was back and forth. They had leads. They just unfortunately gave them up. It wasn't like Cotuit or Orleans where they had to play from behind almost the entire game. They had a lead. It's now just a question, or more of a matter of keeping the lead. So we'll see how they do tonight against the Kettleers Ball Club. They've already seen once earlier this week. And a guy like Thorson going on the mound, and we know he's got some swing and miss stuff in his game. He could be in for a nice start.
Well, last time the Hyannis and Cotuit teams matched up, it was a 9-8 win for the Kettleers. That was in Cotuit at Lowell Park. And that one was a tough one as well because Hyannis, again, played from ahead in that game. They erased a 5-run deficit in that one, but Arajanu just came back in the 8th inning and launched the game-winning home run. He's not in the lineup tonight, but with Sam Thorson on the mound, like you just mentioned, got some swing and miss stuff in his arsenal. So the key for him tonight is going to be keeping the ball down in the zone. And what else should we try and watch for?
Oh, I think it's just the command, and that's kind of been the story of a lot of these Harbor Hawk arms this season. For Sam, he's second in the league in strikeouts. He's also tied for first in the league in walks. So he's similar to Connor Ash and a couple of these other arms. He can miss a lot of bats, often, though, struggles to find the zone. So it's about consistently pinpointing both sides of the plate, mixing in that fastball, of course. We know he's got a good heater, mixing in the off speed to go along with it. But for him, just keeping the ball around the zone and keeping some of these Kettleers bats off balance, because we know they can score a lot of runs and hit a lot of long balls for that matter. So for Sam, it's really just about consistency and command.
Well, if the last meeting between these two was any indication, we should be in for a high-scoring matchup tonight at McKeon Park. We'll have lineups and first pitch for you on the other side of the break when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back here from McKeon Park on Red Shirt Friday, the first Friday home game of the season for Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks have taken the field, and Sam Thorson on the mound finishing up his warm-up tosses as we speak. And Cotuit puts out a lineup against him that looks like this. Nick Gonzalez leads off and playing second base. Following him, Cam Hill in center. Matt Mervis over at first. Aubrey Major doing batting in the cleanup spot in right. Parker Chambers the DH. Christian Robinson in left. Cody Pasek behind the dish. Casey Schmidt at third. And Adam Oviedo, the shortstop, rounds out the nine. So Cotuit coming into tonight, losers of 2 straight. Hyannis losers of 4 straight. One of these two is going to pick up a win tonight. Hyannis, we talked about it a little bit on the broadcast last night, Lyle. They've had some struggles here at McKeon Park.
Yeah, they have, but they just got to find a way to get the bats going. And they're going to have to against a Cotuit lineup that's so good offensively. They're going to have to go toe-to-toe with them with the bats.
And while we have a moment before action begins here tonight, let's take a look at the Hyannis defense. Left to right in the outfield, Mitch McIntyre, Rowdy Jordan, and Rigsby Mosley. Or same way around the infield. Edward Julian at third, Jordan Westberg at shortstop, Anthony Servideo slides over to second base tonight, and Brooks Carlson at first. And Hunter Goodman completes the battery tonight with Thorson on the bump. So Hyannis comes into tonight 3-15-1 after suffering a 9-7 loss in a shortened game to the YD Red Sox last night. Cotuit 9-9-2 coming into action today. And the ever-dangerous Nick Gonzalez makes his way up to the batter's box to begin play here tonight. Now, Nick Gonzalez, last time these two teams met, Hyannis kept him quiet. He was 0 for 3. But as for the rest of the season, this guy, wow, you talked about him a bit last night, probably on the short list for MVP honors later on in the season. So Gonzalez set, Thorson set. First pitch of the evening is a fastball on the ground towards second base. Servideo bobbles it, and it gets through his legs, and Gonzalez is going to reach first. So one pitch, and a base runner already aboard for the Kettleers. Nick Gonzalez doing what he does best. He's aboard to start off the game, and that'll be scored an E4 against Servideo.
Yeah, just a tough play for Servideo. Had to move to his left and kind of just got it on a tough bounce. Got just a little bit under his legs.
So just like that, Cotuit starting off the night with a bang. And here's Cam Hill batting from the left side with one on, nobody out. Thorson a peek back over the shoulder to first, fires a fastball low. It's 1-0. Well, Hill coming in under the Mendoza line at 190 tonight. Trying to jumpstart something for these Kettleers who put up 9 runs in the last meeting on July the 1st. Thorson being forced to work out of the stretch early on in his outing tonight. He fires home a 1-0. Breaking ball, that's inside, a called strike. And the count pulls even at 1-1. Edward Julian getting the start at third base once again tonight. He's well in on the infield grass, a couple steps in front of the lip. And Thorson a pause and a look back toward Gonzalez at first. A pause as he set at the belt, the 1-1. Fastball, opposite field swing, and McIntyre has it lined up. He drops back a few steps to make the grab. So Gonzalez will retreat back to first as Hill sent a lazy fly ball out to Mitch. No problem, and there's one down. Here's Matt Mervis. So Thorson not helped out much by the error to begin the ball game, but with one down, a double play is in order. Servideo and Westberg a double play depth. Jordan Westberg getting his first start in Hyannis uniform, making his debut here on Cape Cod tonight. Mervis watches a fastball at the knees, a called strike. And for Thorson, trying to bounce back off of what was a little bit of a rocky outing June the 29th at Chatham. He went 4 1/3, gave up 5 runs. Only 3 of them were earned, however. On 3 hits, and he walked 4 as he looks back to first. Back in head first is Gonzalez. But he did strike out 8 in that game. Thorson has racked up the strikeouts in bunches so far this season. Good enough to place him second in the league. Here's his 0-1. Breaking ball, that's in the dirt. Knocked down by Goodman behind the plate. Once again, red shirt Friday here at McKeon Park. Couple of number changes. Goodman number 4 behind the plate tonight as opposed to his usual 23. Thorson with a look back toward first. A modest lead for Gonzalez over there. And now he comes home with a 1-1. Fastball, that one is launched down the right field line. Mosley giving chase toward the pole. Still hooking. And that one's out of here. A home run off the bat of Matt Mervis. He sent a towering shot down the right field line, and Cotuit snatches a 2-0 lead just like that.
You could kind of tell if it was fair, it was going to leave the yard. It was hooking for a while, but just stayed inside that right field foul pole and leaves the yard by a decent amount.
The first home run of the season for Mervis, and RBIs number 5 and 6. So that gives things to Aubrey Major out of the cleanup spot, and Cotuit, much like what we saw from YD, getting a lead early. Thorson's first pitch is on the ground toward first, backhanded by Carlson. He'll flip to the covering Thorson in time for the out. So 2 down for Parker Chavers. Pretty routine play for Carlson. Went down to a knee on the backhand, and Thorson a nice job moving off the mound to cover the bag.
Yeah, like you said, Carlson with the backhand, but it's good communication between the two. Easy flip to Thorson at first.
So here's Shavers. He's the DH tonight in the Cotuit lineup as he watches the breaking ball inside. But Shavers was not kept off the score sheet for long in the last time these two teams met. He went 1 for 4 and racked up 3 RBIs. 1-0, a fastball low. So walks have been a bit of an issue for Thorson. He's lost his command a little bit here to begin the ball game. He's missed a couple of spots. Picked up 4 walks June the 29th, and the start before that against Harwich, he picked up 2. Into his windup, the 2-0 pitch. Fastball laced the other way, foul up over the bleachers, out of play. And the count moves to 2-1. And we talked about how potent this Cotuit lineup can be. Much similar to the YD Red Sox last night. Top 5 in just about every major category offensively. Thorson comes home with a 2-1, a breaking ball. Popped up on the infield. Julian ranging toward the third base bag, calls everyone off, and that ends the inning. But not before Matt Mervis strikes. He drives in 2 with a blast down the right field line, and the Kettleers have snatched a lead. 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and nobody left. Still 0-0. Hyannis, or 2-0 Cotuit. Hyannis coming to the plate for their first cuts on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the first here from McKeon Park. Cotuit on top early. It's 2-0. Hyannis sends a lineup against the NC State product Reed Johnson that goes as follows. Anthony Servideo leads off and plays second, followed by Jordan Westbrook out at short. Jared DeSantelo doing the DH tonight. Hunter Goodman behind the plate in the cleanup spot. Edward Julian at third. Rigsby Mosley out in right. Rowdy Jordan in center. Brooks Carlson at first. And rounding out the 9 is the left fielder, Mitch McIntyre. So the right-hander from NC State, Reed Johnson, up atop the rubbers. He awaits Servideo to step into the left-handed batter's box. So once again, Hyannis going to have to play a bit of catch-up tonight. Johnson winds and fires his first pitch, a fastball on the outside corners for strike 1. And NC State Not exactly a powerhouse or a household name around college baseball, but boy, was Reed Johnson good for them. The 0-1 breaking ball misses away. He made 17 appearances, 14 of them starts. Picked up a 6-2 record, a 3.71 ERA. He tossed 77 in a third innings pitch, so a high volume of usage as a 1-1 fastball catches the bottom part of the zone, strike two. Struck out 65 and walked just 27 while surrendering 32 earned. The 6-3 right-hander fires home, up and away. Tried to sneak a breaking ball backdoor on Servideo, but the count levels at 2-2. Servideo was not featured in the lineup the last time these two teams squared off, as a 2-2 was ripped back up the middle, a base hit. Skip past the glove of Gonzalez into the short grass in center, and Servidio's aboard to start things off for Hyannis.
Well, Servideo squared one up last night and kind of just picks up where he left off, just shooting one up the middle. First Hyannis hit of the night.
So that'll bring up Jordan Westberg for his first plate appearance in a Hyannis uniform. And for Jordan, the Mississippi State Bulldog, making his debut here on Cape Cod, as Johnson looks back toward first to dive in head first for Servideo. Jordan, a valuable bat that could be inserted for Chad Gassman, putting him in the 2 spot tonight, trying to make an immediate impact. First pitch to him, a breaking ball inside, a called strike. And this is a Hyannis offense that has woken up later on in ball games, which seems to be the trend over the course of the last week or so. Johnson, a pause now is 0-1. Breaking ball, that's inside. Westberg twisting the left shoulder back toward the plate to try and avoid it. And the count evens 1-1. Westberg hit .298 in his 2019 season with the Mississippi State Ball Club. Played 62 games, racked up 248 at-bats as he sends a 1-1 down the right field line, blooping foul. So 2 strikes on him now as he looks as he broke a piece of that bat off, so he'll go retrieve a new piece of lumber from the dugout. Really an eye-popping number for Westberg in his season with Mississippi State was 60 RBIs. He racked up those in bunches. 6 home runs that also went with it. He gets a new piece of black lumber. He'll walk back toward the plate. He's got a 1-2 count. Servideo still being held on by Mervis over at first base. 1 on, nobody away. Bottom half of the first. Hyannis with some work to do, already trailing things 2-0. Johnson set a 1-2. Servideo takes off for second. It's a pop fly into shallow right field. Major coming on, going back to second baseman Gonzalez, but it'll be Major to make the grab as Servideo retreats. So 1 down now for Jared DeSantilla.
Yeah, Westberg just kind of got that one in on the hands, pops it the other way, and good communication by both the second baseman Gonzalez and the right fielder Aubrey Major.
So Jared DeSantilla kicking some dirt around in that left-handed batter's box, and we talk about Jared so much. He's been, if not the most consistent bat, he's one of them. He's definitely up there. Quietly put himself 4th in the league in batting average with at .341 coming into tonight. Johnson spins and throws back towards Servideo at first. He's back safely. Jared's had himself quite the eye-opening summer as he chops one foul in front of the plate off of his right foot. He goes hopping around the home plate area, just trying to stretch it out. Home plate umpire Fred DeJesus walks out a new baseball to Johnston, halfway in between home plate and the mound, trying to give DeSantilla some time to recover as he adjusts the gloves. Hunter Goodman waits on deck. Just 1 down in the inning. He's still got that right catcher's leg guard on. He's been featured in the DH spot a bunch for Chad Gassman, but Adam Hackenberg getting the night off, and the addition of Jordan Westberg inserted into the defensive alignment. The 0-1. Breaking ball that misses down and away. Goodman had himself quite a night last night. Sent one over the 352-foot fence at Red Wilson Field for his third home run of the summer as Jared steps out at the plate. He wants time. Matter of fact, Hunter picked up a hit the last time these two teams saw each other. Went 1 for 3 in that game. Servideo again takes off for first. A grounder back up the middle, past the diving glove of Avidia, and into center field, a base hit. So DeSantolo once again finding a way aboard, just poking one right up the middle. That'll transition things to Hunter as he tosses that catcher's guard back to the on-deck area. Trying to see what he can do with the bat here with 2 on and 1 down. Well, Lyle, we talked about the offense. The bats have been woken up later in games. Tonight, they've gotten a couple base runners aboard here in the first inning with just 1 down. Trying to answer back on a 2-spot put up by Cotuit. A check on second. Servideo scampers back to the bag just in the nick of time. Gonzalez slapping down the tag at the bag. Goodman's still awaiting Johnson's first pitch. Here it is, a breaking ball. He launches it, a towering shot deep to left field, ranging back Robinson toward the track. He's got it lined up. Ranges over a few steps and makes the catch. Servidio's trying to tag for third. The throw's going to be late, but a throw back to second skips into right field. Backed up by Aubrey Major nicely as DeSantolo. All he can do is retreat back to the back at second. Servideo thought about going home as he rounded third. And Chad Gassman putting the brakes on him there. So 2 down now in the inning with 2 in scoring position and a big spot for Edward Julian.
Well, there's some of Hunter's power displayed right there, and he did it on what was basically a pop-up for him. I mean, he got way under that one, skied it straight into left field, and he put it just in front of the warning track. So still a productive out as it advanced each runner 90 feet.
So Edward Julian has got a couple of ducks on the pond, a big RBI spot to try and Hyannis back in the ballgame. They trail at 2-0. They put up 2 hits. Both of them coming from the 2 men on base. Haven't racked up a walk yet, which they've done so much over the course of the past couple games. Fastball to Julian was high and tight, 1-0. Julian again, part of the trio of new faces that Hyannis has inserted into their lineup. 1-0 breaking ball down and away. And again, Julian, the starting third baseman for the Auburn Tigers, a team that made it all the way to Omaha, Nebraska. Now he's here with the Harbor Hawks on Cape Cod, trying to help out this ball club with 2 runners on and 2 down as a breaking ball misses inside. And Julian hit 240 in his season at Auburn, 333 so far here on the elbow of Massachusetts this summer. Johnson into the windup, the 2-0 pitch. That misses down. And that's going to be ball 4 to Julian, so he'll head down to first base with the first walk of the night for Hyannis offensively. And that's going to load up the bags for Rigsby Mosley.
Well, Hyannis got some stuff going early in the ball game yesterday. They had runners on base. It was just a matter of bringing them in. First 3 innings, they left a total of 7 on base. They left the bases loaded back in the second against YD. Here's Rigsby Mosley, who had the big triple last night with the bases loaded in the first.
And it was the only triple of the summer so far for Mosley in the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as he looks at a fastball in the inside corner, a called strike. Brought home a couple of runs to score and gave Hyannis the lead at the time. Johnson's 0-1. Breaking ball outside, count evens. To the right-hander back into the windup with the bases full. Servideo at third, DeSantolo at second, and Julian at first. 1-1 fastball, that misses down. Mosley gave a hard take as he watched it go by. Cody Pasek behind the plate, tried to frame the spot for a second instead, 2-1. Mosley trying to come through and with a clutch 2-out hit. 2-1, that's in the air to center field. Sends Hill back a few steps, and he makes the catch over the shoulder to end the inning. So Mosley hit one on a line out to center, but Cam Hill, and the great defensive play ranging back a few steps, and Hyannis strands the bases loaded. Still 2-0, top 2 coming up from McKeon Park when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Christian Robinson, Cody Pasek, and Casey Schmidt due up against the right-hander Sam Thorson. Cotuit offense struck for 2. Last time we saw him at the plate to lead off the ball game, it's 2-0. And from McKeon Park, Thorson trying to silence the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Kettleers order. Right-hander toes the rubber, brings the glove in front of his face into the windup. First pitch, a fastball just off the outside corner. It's 1-0. There's a considerable breeze blowing right to left here at McKeon Park, but otherwise, another picture-perfect day for baseball as Thorson's 1-0's on the way. Fastball low. And Lyle, considering all the rainouts we've had, there's a doubleheader Saturday because of a rainout earlier with the Bourne Braves. But over the course of the past couple days, we've really lucked out with some beautiful weather.
Yeah, it's been absolutely gorgeous and perfect timing, too, with the 4th of July rolling around.
2-0 fastball, big cut and a miss upstairs from Christian Robinson, 2-1. And we were treated to an unbelievable day yesterday at YD. Sun was out and shining, picture perfect temperature, not too much wind. Thorson into the windup, his 2-1. Fastball, that just missed inside. Backing up Robinson just a bit off the inside edge of the plate. It's 3-1.
Yeah, and you got to enjoy a Whitey donut burger yesterday, didn't you? Your first one, and it's about as American as you can get with food.
And let me tell you, those are unbelievable. The 3-1 from Thorson's up high. He walked him. Well, Robinson's aboard to begin things here in the second for Cotuit. That'll bring up Cody Pasek. Well, getting back to those donut burgers for just a second, I meant to tell you about this yesterday on the broadcast. We didn't get a chance because of the game being cut short, but those are, you're absolutely right. And the video was posted to Twitter, so you can go watch that on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Twitter account. But an unbelievable idea from you, I must say. I give you a lot of credit for that. But a jelly donut with a burger sandwiched in between, I never thought that's something that I would try or anything that I would remotely come close to liking. But absolutely incredible. First pitch, a fastball roped down the left field line, tailing just foul. It rolls toward the Hyannis bullpen. So the count 0-1 to Pasek. A bit frustrated with himself as he resides just outside the left-handed batter's box. He knew he was just a bit late. So Robinson returns back to the bag at first.
So yeah, Whitey has 3 different donut burgers. I've had 2 of them. Last year I was like you. I was all skeptical. I was like, you know what? This combination is never going to work. And it weirdly does, right?
But see, the thing is, you can't have any condiments with it. As Thorson looks back to first to dive in head first from Robinson. I thought about going with ketchup because that's just what you put on a burger. It just is. But with the jelly donut, you just can't do it.
No, you
just
can't put ketchup and jelly together. No way. Yeah, you made the right decision on that one.
I saw some other people doing it, and I was like, I'm just not going to go that route. 0-1 breaking ball misses in the dirt. Robinson advancing up 90 feet to second. Goodman knocked it down with the right leg, shaking it out a bit as he walks back toward the mound. Thorson receives a new baseball. So Robinson in scoring position for the Kettleers. And a 1-1 count here to Pasek. But no, you're right. And I was going to go down that alley and bring that up because as I look down, I mean, it is absolutely packed here tonight at McKeon Park. And why not? A beautiful day for baseball. But all the hot dogs going around. And that's what makes YD's Snack Shack unique. Thorson's 1-1. Breaking ball, a chopper toward first. Carlson lets it come to him. He flips to Thorson, covering the bag at first in time for the out. So Carlson kind of corralled it against his body. Made the play, flipped to Thorson. Second time Thorson scampered off the mound to go cover, but a runner 90 feet away. That's Robinson advancing up to third. So with one down, that'll transition things to Casey Schmidt.
Yeah, and Carlson, that play for him tougher than what will appear in the scorebook. I mean, he had to move to his left, field it on an in-between hop, and he was ready to chest it up, but he just gloves it instead, and then the easy flip to Thorson. So Brooks making a nice play to keep another Cotuit run off the board.
So Christian Robinson resides at third. Thorson back to the windup. He fires a breaking ball that misses low and away. And to keep on the topic of food just for a second, Lyle, when we were in Cotuit last week, you mentioned their hot dogs were something to behold. I was fortunate enough to go grab one of those during a break we had in the action. I have to say, not as good as the donut burger, but pretty close. I mean, it's up there, definitely. Thorson into the windup is 1-0. Fastball down and away.
Yeah, they do those hot dogs well. Their buns are toasted. They'll butter them up a bit, and then just a well put together hot dog. I think it's my favorite personally that I've had on the Cape. But yeah, like you said, the donut burgers are just, it's one of those things you feel like you almost have to try, and you know, you'll kind of kick yourself if you don't. That's why I ended up doing it last year. I'm glad you did this year.
2-0 from Thorson. Another fastball was spiked in front of the plate. Goodman knocked it down, keeping that runner at third. That's Robinson. But no, you're absolutely right. I mean, once you're there and you see it on the menu, you have to think, what is this? And then you just have to go for it. So Schmidt will step back in. He's well ahead in the driver's seat here in the count, 3-0. Cotuit one down in their half of the second inning. Thorson trying to wiggle out of any type of jam, and he might potentially work himself into here, the 3-0. Up high, and that's ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning for Thorson so far. That puts men on the corners for Adam Oviedo. And Goodman walks out to the mound to have a quick conversation with his arm. Pitching coach Ray Korn also has made his way out of the dugout, and he calls Goodman back to the mound for a quick conference. So walks for Hyannis, both on the offensive side of things and on the pitching side of things, have been a bit of an issue. Again, we talk about it so much. The 10-walk game in Orleans. Trevor Hopper, who has the night off tonight, he picked up 4 and came within a pitch of drawing his 5th. But for Thorson, we mentioned the high walk rate. He picked up 4 in his last start against Chatham. He's already got 2 tonight. That matches his total from his previous start in Harwich. Home-plate umpire Fred DeJesus has made his way out to the mound to try and break up this conference. Korn not budging for a moment. Now is a word for him on the way by. The play will resume here in just a moment with men on the corners. Adam Oviedo patiently waiting outside the right-handed batter's box. Oviedo also picked up a couple walks back at Lowell Park last week. Went 0 for 1 otherwise, but found himself aboard a couple times, virtue of a free pass. So Thorson back into the stretch with men on the corners and just 1 down. Middle infielder shaded at double play depth. Thorson kicks and fires, breaking ball high. And this Cotuit team, the trend has been broken tonight already. But in each of their last 4 out of 5 games, they lost 3 of them, but they either scored or held their opponents to just 1 run in each of those contests. Oviedo waits the 1-0. That's a fastball high, but a called strike at the letters. Thorson picking out a nice spot at the top of the zone. I mentioned a little bit ago that Cotuit losers of 2 straight. They were swept in a home-and-home with Falmouth on the 3rd and 4th of July. They've rebounded nicely here against Hyannis so far as Oviedo drops down a beauty down the first baseline. Nobody's covering first, but Thorson will apply the tag on the way by. A run comes in to score. That's Christian Robinson crossing the plate to make things 3-0 Cotuit. And Casey Schmidt sliding up 90 feet to second base, so Oviedo's sacrifice works to perfection. And 2 down, back to the top of the order for Nick Gonzalez.
Well, he pushed it to the right side. It brought Thorson as well as Brooks Carlson in. And an easy trot home for the runner Robinson to make it 3-0.
So Gonzalez reached courtesy of an error from Anthony Servideo at second base his first time up. On a ball, first pitch of the game, as a matter of fact, that was a pretty routine grounder. And Servideo, just a bit of a mishap in between the glove. First pitch from Thorson, a fastball away. So Cotuit with another runner in scoring position out there. That's Casey Schmidt. Picked up the second walk of the inning, served up by Thorson. And Cotuit hitting .256 as a team with runners in scoring position in 2019 as the breaking ball misses outside. And if you have runners in scoring position and you're the Cavaliers, this is exactly the guy you would want to have at the plate. Nick Gonzalez, 3rd in the league in average, 5th in RBIs with 15, and a chance for 16 right here. Thorson, a double take back to second, now comes home with a 2-0. Fastball just misses off the outside corner. Trying to paint the outside black, just barely missing the spot. 3 balls and no strikes. Thorson in danger of surrendering a 3rd walk here in the second inning. Cotuit is struck for a run each of the first 2 trips to the plate, the 3-0. Fastball down Broadway for a strike. Just to get me over pitch. Thorson trying to battle back in this count. And if you want to dive even further into that average and scoring position for Cotuit this season, with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, they're even better with 289. Thorson kicks and fires a 3-1. Big cut and a miss upstairs from Gonzalez. Thorson climbing the ladder on that fastball to run the count full 3-2. So Sam trying to get his Hyannis teammates' bats back to the plate. 3 runs on just 1 hit for Cotuit so far. Been the beneficiary of a few free passes as Thorson steps off the back of the rubber. It's been a rough go of it for this Hyannis pitching staff throughout the last couple of games. Thorson a pause now, his payoff pitch. Fastball low, and he walked him again. 3rd of the inning. But Gonzalez trots down to first base. He's aboard for the 2nd time in as many plate appearances. Now I'll give things to Cam Hill.
Yeah, first time Gonzalez has reached safely. He reached to lead off the game on a Servideo error at second, but there just works a count, watches one in the dirt, and draws a walk.
So 1st and 2nd for Cam Hill. He sent one to Mitch McIntyre in left field in his first plate appearance. So these Kettleers bats prolonging the top of the 2nd inning for the time being against Thorson. As he comes home, first pitch of the at-bat is up high. Breaking ball just above the letters. Hunter Goodman making his 2nd start behind the plate. Perhaps trying to get on the same page with the right-hander out of Minnesota, Thorson. A look back towards second base at Schmidt. Now he fires. 1-0 fastball misses up high. Thorson hasn't exactly kept the ball down so far in his outing. A lot of time when he's missed his spot so far tonight, he's missed upstairs. The right-hander gets his sign from Goodman. He's set at the belt. A look to Schmidt again. Now the pitch. Another fastball up high. It's 3-0. So the command really starting to become an issue for Thorson. Just one free pass away from equaling the total he had against Chatham when he flipped the calendar back to June on the 29th. A breath now to 3-0. Fastball, that's outside, another walk. And that one will load the bases this time for Matt Mervis, who's already gotten the better of the right-hander tonight. He had that 2-run home run to start off the scoring.
Yeah, walks just looming large for Thorson here in the 2nd. That's already his 4th of the inning. He's got 2 outs, still just 1 pitch away, but like you said, he's got a tough at-bat at the plate.
So every base runner that has reached in this inning, it's been courtesy of a walk. No action down in the Hyannis bullpen. Chad Gassman opting to let the right-hander work out of things himself. He goes back to the windup. He brings the glove in front of his face and now fires home. Breaking ball low. That's now 5 straight balls for Thorson if you date back to the last at-bat for Cam Hill. Schmidt at 3rd. Gonzalez at 2nd. Hill at 1st. And Mervis the hitter, the 1-0. Fastball, that's at the top of the zone for a strike. Just packed one in there up and in to even the count. It's been a lengthy top of the 2nd inning. Kind of a lengthy wait for Reed Johnson, but I'm sure he's not going to complain if he can get any more of a cushion. Big cut and a miss from Mervis. He was looking to go yard on that swing. The count 1-2. Foul tipped into the glove of Goodman, that is. Aubrey Major loosening up in the on-deck area. He's another power bat for this Cotuit lineup. Mervis has already flexed his muscles once tonight, trying to do the same thing here again, but he's got a 1-2 count. Thorson's offering. In there, strike 3. So Cotuit strands the bases loaded, but plates 1. 4 walks in the inning from Thorson, but he wiggles out of it. The Hyannis bats coming back to the dish in the bottom of the 2nd when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis set to send the bottom third of their order to the dish in the second inning, trailing things 3-0 here at home at McKeon Park. It's Rowdy Jordan, Brooks Carlson, and Mitch McIntyre due up against Reed Johnston. And a bit of a lengthy wait in the top of the second inning, but he's got a three-run cushion to sit on. Jordan set to dig in from the left side for his first plate appearance of the evening. First pitch from Reed, fastball right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Now, Hyannis has fallen behind in each of their last 3 losses. And in each of those contests, they've given up 7 runs or more. As the fastball misses in the dirt, it's 1-1. But if you look on the flip side of that, all 3 games that Hyannis has won this season, they've scored first. That not being the case tonight here at McKeon Park. The offense with some work to do as a breaking ball misses inside. Rowdy, just the lone hit on the summer, was a Texas League single a couple nights ago in Orleans as he rips this one into right field right on cue, his second of the summer. So Jordan starts off the second inning with a base knock for Hyannis, and that'll transition things to Brooks Carlson.
A nice piece from Rowdy Jordan. Just squares one up against Johnston through the right side.
I'm feeling lucky with calling some hits, Lyle, lately. Hunter Goodman yesterday was mentioning his home run total, and then right on cue, the next pitch, he launched his third, and Rowdy Jordan just picking up his second hit that time.
Well, maybe mix a couple in there more often, see what happens.
Yeah, maybe we should keep it rolling. We'll see what happens. Spinning the throw back to first for Johnson, back standing up is Jordan. And Brooks Carlson hit his first home run the other night. Sent it opposite field over the right field fence. Johnson at the belt, the pitch. Breaking ball, a called strike. Johnson had been so productive for the NC State team. Gave up 80 hits and 77 and a third as he tosses back over to first again. Jordan scampers back on his 2 feet. Only walked 27 in those 77 innings. And that's what really stands out for Johnson. He commands the strike zone so well, and there's another breaking ball dropped in at the knees. For the count, 0-2 to Brooks Carlson. He gave a quick shake of the head as he looks back toward Gassman down the third baseline. And Carlson batting just 152 on the summer. He could use a base knock as he watches the breaking ball down and away. Johnson tried to pick out that same spot again. Instead, the count moves to 1-2. One on, nobody out in the Hyannis half of the second with Mitch McIntyre on deck. The 1-2. In there, strike 3. Carlson goes down looking for the first out of the second, and he knew it. Turns right back to the dugout. And that will hand things over to Mitch McIntyre.
It's just a good fastball from Johnson. Just painted the outside corner. Like you said, it just froze Brooks a little bit.
So Mitch digs in. He's picked up 4 RBIs on the summer. He made an appearance on the mound the other night. That was in YD. Of course, the two-way player out of BYU. We mentioned the 18 scoreless innings he had in his school season. Runner takes off for second. Jordan slides in, and it's not in time as a throw down from Pasek beat him. So Jordan gunned down at second. Pasek hoses him, and that erases the base runner for Hyannis. 2 down now with McIntyre at the plate with an 0-1 count. A 1 from Johnson. That's a breaking ball. Inside, a called strike. Well, Jordan got a bit of a late break on that steal attempt at first. Looked like when he crossed over, he might have even stumbled a bit. Trying to give a head first dive at the last second, not in time as the breaking ball's outside. It's 1-2 to Mitch. Hyannis not a team that's known to swipe many bags. Pitch from Johnson, runs inside and gets McIntyre off the ribcage. Tosses the bat as well as the elbow guard and doesn't even give a flinch. He'll trot down to first base. So the second free pass issued by Johnston, a walk, and now a hit by pitch. And that'll give Anthony Servideo his second cuts.
And now a base runner on. McIntyre just took it with no problem. Easily flipped the bat back and walked down to first. We'll see if that can spark something with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Well, Servidio's 1 for 1. He's singled but was stranded at third. Johnson was able to escape a bases loaded jam from Hyannis. Check back over to first on McIntyre. He's back standing. And both teams have threatened early on in this ball game. Cotuit loading the bases up in the last frame. First pitch to Servideo misses outside. It's 1-0. Anthony's starting to climb out of the cellar with that batting average. He's picked up 5 hits over the course of the last couple games, and he really struggled out of the gate. He's starting to turn things around for himself as he watches a fastball in for a strike. Just a guy that hits for contact at the top of the lineup. Johnson a pause. This is 1-1. Breaking ball, that's at the knees, a called strike 2. And Johnson trying to work himself out of the second inning. Runner aboard is McIntyre at first. The NC State right-hander winds and fires. Fastball way inside. Servideo brushing him back off the plate. 2-2. Cotuit has struck for 3 runs so far in the ballgame tonight. They put up just 1 hit. Hyannis has 3. No runs to speak of just yet. The 2-2 dropped it just a bit outside as Johnston was working his way back toward the dugout. He was about a step and a half off the back of the rubber that time toward the dugout, but instead 3-2. Servideo stays alive. McIntyre will be off with the pitch. The payoff, here it comes. Fastball down the right side, foul. McIntyre loops around the second base bag. He'll head back to first. Servideo just getting a piece of an inside fastball to stay alive. Got it off in between the barrel and the handle of the bat. The next 3-2. Fastball low, and it's a walk for Servideo, so he's aboard for the second time tonight. Johnson not in agreement with home plate umpire Fred DeJesus on that last call. Trying to pick his spot down and away and catch the bottom part of the zone. Instead, he'll bring up Jordan Westberg for his second plate appearance. Westberg sent one on a line to center field his first time up. Right-hander spins and throws back to second. McIntyre slides the right hand in just in time. Johnson's been a bit concerned with the Hyannis runners aboard tonight. It's the second time he's looked back towards second base. First pitch home to Westberg. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. So Hyannis not going quietly here in the home half of the second. Trying to mount to come back a bit earlier than what we've seen in games past. The 1-0. Fastball, a chopper down the left side, foul as it skips toward the fence down by the Hyannis bullpen. So again, Westberg picked up 60 RBIs in his season with the Mississippi State Bulldogs. He got a chance to pick up Mitch McIntyre, who stands at second base currently. The 1-1. A check swing, a number with the Cotuit dugout. That'll bounce foul. Westberg kind of an in-between half swing. Couldn't decide if he wanted to go around, or Johnson tried to snap off a breaking ball in the inner half of the plate. It's 1-2. Jared DeSangelo looming large in the on-deck area. Not a guy that Johnston wants to see. He's already picked up a base knock tonight. The 1-2. Breaking ball in the air to center field again. Hill ranging back. He's got a beat on it, and he'll make the grab to end the inning. So Westberg, a couple of flyouts on the board for him tonight. Hyannis strands 2 aboard, and they're still scoreless. Cotuit 3, Hyannis nothing. Sam Thorson back to the hill in the top of the third when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Top of the third set to get underway from McKeon Park in Hyannis as the Cotuit Cavaliers are out to a 3-0 advantage on the road. It'll be Aubrey Major, Parker Chavers, and Christian Robinson, the three due to the plate. As the switch-hitting Major steps into the left side of the box for the second time tonight. Sam Thorson peers over the glove, gets the sign from catcher Hunter Goodman, winds and fires. Fastball just away. So Thorson already with 4 free passes tonight. Gave up 4 walks in the top of the second inning. Looking to bounce back from that here in the third, although Cotuit only got 1 run off it. 1 out. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes to the Xavier product, Aubrey Major. Second summer on Cape Cod for Aubrey. It's his second team as well, as he spent some time last summer early on with the Brewster Whitecaps. Thorson's 2-0. Swing and a pop up the other way. Foul. That's going to get onto the hill. Brendan talked about it a little bit ago, but it is a really, really good crowd here at McKeon tonight. The grandstands are filled down the left field line. The hill's pretty filled. All the seats just below us are pretty filled as the pitch to Major runs away. It's 3-1. Brendan, this might be the best crowd of the season.
I would have to say so. I'm just taking a quick peek around. I didn't get a chance to really look down the right field line much, but those bleachers are packed too.
3-1 to Major. Pop up on the infield. In comes Julian. Out goes Goodman. It'll be Edward making the call, and he slides to make the grab. Nice play by Edward Julian. Good communication with the pitcher Thorson and the catcher Goodman, who came off their respective positions. But Julian charged in a little bit to his right, and he made a sliding grab for the first out of the inning. That'll shift things to Parker Chavers. He comes into the at-bat hitting .263 on the summer. So Thorson, a quick first out. The Minnesota righty fires. Good breaking ball, called strike. So Sam Thorson, 3-pitch guy, fastball, curveball change. So fire home. Breaking ball, this one misses low. Fastball in the low 90s. And again, he'll mix in that changeup and breaking ball as well. It's got nobody on with 1 out. It's 3-0 Cotuit. Pitch. Chavers checks his swing. There's going to be no appeal down to third, and as a result, now they'll appeal down. However, third base umpire Warren Nicholson says he does not go. So it's 2-1 to the hitter Chavers. Designated hitter out of Coastal Carolina. They go for Thorson from the windup. Rocks and fires. Down low, 3-1 to the hitter. That's Parker Chavers. So far today, he's popped out to third. So those are the 2 plays that have involved Edward Julian today. 3-1, swing and a miss, and the count swells full. So Julian caught the easy pop-up to end the top of the first from Parker Chavers. Just a minute ago, he made a sliding grab in foul ground against Aubrey Major. 3-2, Thorson looking for his second strikeout. Offering, swing and a tap foul off the glove of Goodman, and it gets behind the plate. So Chavers has already burned Hyannis pretty good earlier in the week. He's got 2 home runs on the summer. One of them coming in that game at Cotuit. That was a 3-run shot at Lowell Park. 3-2. Fouled off his foot, and Chavers will stay alive. And that 3-run blast was part of a 4 spot that the Cavaliers put up in the bottom of the 4th frame at their home ballpark. Mason McWhorter, who's not in the lineup tonight, punched an RBI single. And Chavers followed him with that 3-run missile out to right. And there was no doubt about it. Thorson's 3-2. Swinging a ground ball foul. And once again, he fouls off a 3rd straight pitch to stay alive. And that ball from Chavers hit about the 2nd or 3rd line of trees at Lowell Park in Cotuit. That was absolutely blasted. Infield back. Thorson ready. 3-2 offering. Fastball up high, and he loses them. Chavers reaches base with the 1-out walk. It's the 5th base on balls issued by Thorson tonight. And with 1 out and 1 on board, it'll bring up Christian Robinson. So Robinson yet to record an official at-bat today. He's walked and scored. That was back in the top of the 2nd, the lone run that Cotuit put together. So walks have been a little bit of a struggle for Thorson this summer. He peeks at the runner at first, puts his head down for a second, now a fire home. Swinging a ground ball foul down the right field line. So again, a lot of swing and miss in Thorson's game. Came into this start second in the league in strikeouts. But he also leads the league in walks as we stand right now. 12 to enter the ball game. With 5 so far today, he's up at 17 for the season. Fires hard over to first, but back with a head first dive, the runner Parker Chavers. But Thorson still put together a really nice summer, despite some of the free passes. He struck out 7 at least over his last 3 starts. 7 at least in each of the last 3, as the hitter, Robinson, punches one off his foot foul. And if you look at the strikeout total for Thorson, he's currently tied for, or one behind the tie for first. And the guy who sits in first, Joseph Nahas of the Cotuit Kettleers. He's a right-hander for Georgia Southern. Thorson's got an 0-2 count with 1 out. Pitch up high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 3-0 Cotuit the score. A slight breeze blowing out toward right center field. But Thorson, high walk, high strikeout pitcher, sits at a 1-2 count, looking for strikeout number 2. Checks the runner, now he's going to fire over. Carlson moves a little bit to his left, but makes the grab, keeps it in front of him, and Chavers is back standing up. So Thorson, last time out against Chatham. As he fires over to first again, Carlson tosses it right back to him. He went 4 1/3 in that outing. 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. That's the other thing about Thorson, too. He's let up some free passes, sure, but he doesn't give up a whole lot of earned runs. He comes set right at the belt. 1-2. Good breaking ball in there, strike 3 called. Thorson freezes Robinson for his second strikeout of the night, and with 2 down, it brings him into a first-place tie on the Cape League in strikeouts.
Well, we know Thorson's got the strikeout stuff in his arsenal. He just, tonight, worked himself in a couple full counts in the past worth that 5 walks. Just hadn't had that put-out pitch. That time snapped off a good breaking ball and froze the hitter Robinson.
So with 1 on, the runner Chavers at first and 2 away. Cody Pasek, the left-handed hitting catcher out of Maine, digs in. Pitch from Thorson, way outside. Goodman comes out of his crouch to make the snag. But back to the earned runs for Thorson. The 3 he allowed against Chatham back on June the 29th. Most he's allowed in an appearance all summer. His first 2 starts, he gave up just 3 earned runs combined in 11 innings. Pitch. Down low. That skips away from Goodman behind the plate, and Chavers is going to cruise over to second. Thorson issues the wild pitch. Cotuit puts a runner in scoring position, and it's 2-0 to Pasek with 2 down. Cotuit up by 3. They put up 2 in the first, 1 in the second. So home plate umpire in Fred DeJesus brushes some dirt off the dish. He now walks behind Goodman. And Thorson's back onto the mound, set to go. Pasek will flip the bat out at the mound once. The shortstop, Jordan Westberg for Hyannis, playing just behind the runner at second. That's Chavers. 2-0. Swinging a high pop-up left side on the infield. Julian backs up, moves a little bit to his right in foul ground, back to his left, and he makes the grab. That ends the top of the 3rd, and Thorson escapes a mini jam in the top half of the frame. For Cotuit in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 stranded. That was the runner Chavers at second base. Through 2.5 frames, it's Cotuit 3, Hyannis nothing. We'll be back for the bottom of the 3rd when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Heart of the Harbor Hawks lineup coming to the plate in the bottom of the third. It'll be the 3-4-5 of Jared DeSantolo, Hunter Goodman, and Edward Julian to face the North Carolina State right-hander Reed Johnston. He's back out for inning number 3. He's given up no runs on just one hit thus far. That was on the DeSantolo single back in the first. He slaps one the other way on a line, but grab made by Oviedo moving to his right. So Jared's retired. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the third. Going to bring up Hunter Goodman.
Well, Jared got a good piece of that one that time. Unfortunately, just right at the glove of Oviedo. Had to range a couple steps to his right and the short leap off the dirt, but no problem to put DeSantolo away.
That brings up the hitter Goodman. DeSantolo had a hit back in the first inning, lines out to the shortstop Oviedo. He was one of 2 hits, rather, as Goodman watches a breaking ball high. Anthony Servideo punched a single to lead off the bottom of the first. And additionally, Rowdy Jordan with a hit as well. Pitch to Goodman, it's up high. So a trio of singles for Hyannis to this point. Goodman looking to add on. 2-0. Swinging a tap foul back behind the plate. Now, Hyannis as a team has just 10 extra base hits here at McKeon Park. 2 home runs as well. 1 from Rigsby Mosley. 1 from Nick Lofton. On the road, they have 18 extra base hits. And Goodman, a man who can put the ball out of the yard, has a 2-1 count as he swings and fans at it to make it 2-2. So Hyannis in search of their 4th hit. There's been 4 hits total by the 2 ball clubs tonight. Only Cotuit hit so far was the Mervis 2-run shot as Goodman slaps one foul out of play. So that Mervis first inning 2-run home run put Cotuit out to a 2-0 lead. Now Reed Johnston fires the 2-2. Goodman swings, misses, gets by the catcher Pasek. He's charging to first and there's no throw. So Goodman strikes out, but a wild pitch from Reed Johnston puts him aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the third. That'll technically be the 2nd strikeout for Reed Johnson. But it puts 1 aboard for Edward Julian. Julian today a walk. Was issued a free pass in the bottom of the first, but was ultimately stranded at first after Rigsby Mosley hit one on an absolute line out to center, but Cameron Hill tracked it down with an over-the-shoulder grab. So Julian wiggling his bat. Fire back to first from Reed Johnston. Tag applied, no problem. But the runner, Hunter Goodman, back safely. Julian wiggling the bat vividly above his shoulder, and as he watches one high and away, it's 1-0. Julian's responsible for 1 of the 10 extra base hits here. He had 1 of the 3 hits against the Whitey Red Sox the last time Hyannis stepped foot on McKeon Park. That was with a double to right center in a 13-1 loss. Pitch down low, it's 2-0. And Edward, a guy who can rack up a lot of extra base hits at that. He had 25 of them in 2019. He had 24 of them in 2018. 2-0 from Johnston. Line drive through the right side. That's a base hit. Goodman had to avoid it on a line, but he does so cleanly. Moves up to second, and Edward Julian makes it 4 hits for the Harbor Hawks tonight, as Hyannis has 2 on and 1 down for Rigsby Mosley.
Now, Julian put that one on a line that time. 1 hopper into right field as it trickled toward Major out there, but that's the strength of Julian. That one was on a rocket. Goodman took about a step to his right to advance up to second base. That ball almost got a piece of him. Had to jump back a bit to avoid it.
Rigsby Mosley now the hitter. Johnston fires over to second, but Goodman, who had a very short lead, just stands back up safely. Rigsby Mosley came in a pinch hit appearance last night. 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored. Johnston fires home. On the inside corner, it's 0-1. And of course, that one hit was a rope shot of a triple down the right field line to give Hyannis the lead at Red Wilson Field. Brendan touched on it earlier. Mosley's first triple of the season. Hyannis' first triple of the season. Now the 0-1 liner fielded on a hop. No, Oviedo lets it go under his glove. It skips into left center field. So everybody's safe, moving up 90 feet. Each of the Hyannis runners. Goodman down to third, Julian to second, and Rigsby Mosley stands up at first after a broken bat shot the opposite way on the infield. Oviedo charged in, couldn't make the catch on the fly, then tried to pick it forehand out of the dirt on one hop. Couldn't do that successfully, and he let it get under his glove, skipping into left center field.
Well, that one's going to be ruled a hit for Mosley, but like you just touched on, Lyle, a tough play for Oviedo to try and come in on that ball with the runner Goodman in his path.
Pitch to Rowdy Jordan, pops up the first pitch behind home plate. That's going to find the crowd. So Rowdy Jordan, a guy looking to jumpstart his summer. Got the wheels going a little bit in his last at-bat. Singled through the right side, but was ultimately caught stealing as he was cleared on the base paths. Johnston ready, the offering, line drive, diving stop by the shortstop Oviedo, race to the bag at second, and he doubles off the runner Julian. So Adam Oviedo makes up for it right away. A leaping grab at shortstop, comes down with the baseball, and then a diving effort into second base to beat Julian with the glove by half a foot. So a tough break for Hyannis to end the bottom of the third, but they're kept off the scoreboard. A line drive, 6 unassisted double play ends the frame. And Hyannis is still scoreless through 3 innings of play. It's Cotuit 3, Hyannis nothing. And we'll be back for the top of the 4th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Casey Schmidt, the San Diego State third baseman, set to lead things off in the top of the 4th for McKeon Park. Cotuit out to a 3-0 lead over Hyannis as Sam Thorson, the Minnesota right-hander, back on the mound, fires the first pitch down and away with a fastball. So the Kettleers are set to send their 8-9-1 to the plate in the top of the 4th. Hyannis more of the same in the bottom of the frame with their 8-9-1 due up. Thorson the offering, fastball down low, 2 balls, no strikes the count. So he's worked himself a little bit behind to start the game. And rather to start the at-bat as well. 2-0. Fastball high and away, 3 balls, no strikes. So he misses down with the first couple. And then he pinpoints one high and away. Couldn't find the strike zone as Schmidt stepped out just briefly, digs back in with a 3-0 count. He's already walked once today. Was ultimately stranded at third. Offering up high and he lost him. 4-pitch walk to Casey Schmidt, his second walk of the evening. There's one on with nobody down. So Thorson's now allowed 6 walks on the night. So having a little bit of trouble finding the zone, as there's some very light action going on in the Harbor Hawks bullpen. A guy or two down there stretching. Nobody getting loose quite yet. Oviedo now the hitter. Thorson works back out of the stretch. He takes a look at the runner a couple times, now just fires home. Breaking ball hits the outer black, and it's 0-1. So Oviedo, now formerly a TCU Horned Frog, soon to be enrolled at Oral Roberts, where he's set to transfer to further continue his baseball career. Thorson's 0-1. Down low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Adam Oviedo. Oviedo put down a sac bunt where he was eventually tagged out about 2/3 of the way down to first base. He's in search of his first hit. Cotuit still has just 1, but it was a pretty impactful one with that 2-run homer from Matthew Mervis. 1-1. Down in the dirt, gets through the glove of the catcher, Goodman. And moving down to second, Casey Schmidt with no problem. So Goodman tried to backhand one in the dirt, but just got under his glove, and Schmidt advances 90 feet. Thorson's already minimized some damage today. Despite the home run in the first, he stranded 3 on the base paths in the second. Stranded 1 on the base paths in the third, and it was a runner in scoring position. That was Parker Chavers at second. Thorson into the stretch. He checks the runner at second. That's Casey Schmidt. Oviedo squares to bunt, pulls back, and it misses low. 3-1 the count. So Oviedo, a 2-year shortstop for the Cotuit Cavaliers, a 2-year shortstop for the TCU Horned Frogs. But more likely than not, those trends set to end after this summer. 3-1. Inside, shows bunt, pulls it back, and he draws the walk. So make it the 7th walk of the night for Sam Thorson. Oviedo down at first base, as the first 2 Cavaliers hitters of the inning have reached on base on balls.
And again, Thorson trying to paint the inside corner with a fastball and just hasn't really commanded any of his pitches. He's had a couple of them to pick up some strikeouts to get him out of some big spots when necessary, but overall for the continuing trend of the game, just hasn't had the command.
So Thorson looking to battle in. Nick Gonzalez the hitter. Thorson will take a peek at the runner at second. Westberg creeping in. Gonzalez shows the bunt. Fastball in the dirt. Goodman fires back to second. Applied tag by Jordan Westberg, and it's way late. Sliding back safely, Casey Schmidt. So Schmidt gets his jersey just a little bit dirty down there at second base. Oviedo the runner at first, and once again, what he's come to know in his days of college baseball set to change after this summer. Likely done as a Cavalier after 2019 as he's entering his draft year. And he's sure going to be done playing at TCU as he's set to transfer to Oral Roberts. 1-0 to Gonzalez, swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Well, it's been kind of a theme in terms of what we've talked about over the last couple of days regarding players who are potential MVP candidates here in Cape Cod. A couple guys from YD, glazed over Troyani with Orleans, but another very, very potent figure standing right in the batter's box from the right side. It's Nick Gonzalez who squares to bunt, pushes one foul right side. And you can make an argument Gonzalez sits right at the top, not even on the short list. He might be looking down at everybody else. Gonzalez comes into the at-bat hitting .357. He leads the league in hits entering play tonight. Leads the league in doubles, 3rd in average, tied for 3rd in home runs with 3. And again, he plays in the wax, so what, he says. 1-2 from Thorson. Check swing, breaking ball called strike 3 with the pitch. Gonzalez frozen on a strikeout from Sam Thorson. That's his 3rd of the night and the first out of the top of the 4th. So Thorson records a big out, retiring the right-handed hitting Nick Gonzalez. That'll bring up Cam Hill, the center fielder from Kentucky. But again, Gonzalez this season as a whole, just proving that it does not matter if you play in a small conference. Pitch from Sam Thorson, swing and a miss. The bat goes flying from Cam Hill down toward the bullpen on the right field line. But nobody injured as it just drops to the right of the Cotuit dugout. How many times have we seen that this season?
It's got to be at least up to 5 or 6 over the course of the past week or so. We saw it 3 times in one day at YD the other night with the humidity that was present at that ballpark at Red Wilson. We've seen it a handful of times here at McKeon Park throughout the season.
Obviously it happens more than with metal bats. That's just natural, as wood bats don't have as great a grips. A lot of guys don't put grip on their wood bats, although some players will. But again, the humidity, the wood bats, the combination of a couple different factors will obviously play into the thrown bat category. But you just said it, Brendan. It feels like we've seen a million of them over the last week. We saw Rowdy Jordan throw 2 in the same at bat yesterday. Hill throws one there. He's back into the box, and the pitch, swing and a miss. Bat goes flying again. Runners are going to take off with a wild pitch. Down to third, Schmidt. Up to second, Oviedo. But now things get even stranger. We saw Rowdy Jordan throw his bat twice in an at-bat yesterday. Here we see Cam Hill throw his bat twice in 2 pitches tonight.
There's just no words for it. There really isn't. It's just not something you see often at all. And I guess, you never know where you're going to see something you haven't seen before in the game of baseball, because it is such an evolving, ever-changing game. But bats being thrown across the field is something I never thought I would say.
I mean, we've seen our fair share of broken bats this summer. That's expected. But so many thrown bats. So odd. Regardless, Cam Hill's going to step back into the box. He applied some pine tar over by the first base dugout a minute ago. But he's got an 0-2 count. There's now 2 runners in scoring position after the wild pitch. Schmidt at third, Oviedo at second. 3-0 Cotuit the score. Thorson a long pause and the 0-2 offering. Inside, and he hits him with a breaking ball. So the hitter, Cam Hill, throws the bat twice, then plunked on the front hip with a breaking ball from Thorson. And that loads the bases with 1 out in the top of the 4th.
And isn't this just one of the most wild games you've seen, Lyle? I mean, the broken bats, the thrown bats, the free passes. Now, how often do you think you see a starter surrender 7 walks and a few hit by pitches and just be down 3-0 in a ball game?
So the bases are loaded with 1 out. Thorson 7 free passes on the night, 6 walks and the hit by pitch, and he's now set to face the number 3 hitter, Matthew Mervis. Swings away, pops one in the air to medium depth left field. McIntyre over to his right, but this will get a job done. Tagging from third, Casey Schmidt. The throw cut off by Westberg, and Schmidt slides in safely. Sacrifice fly from Matthew Mervis makes it a 3 RBI day for the Duke product, and Cotuit goes up 4-0 in the 4th. The other runners stay put. Oviedo held at second. Hill more the same at first. Now Aubrey Major digs in from the left side. 2 aboard, 2 down. Kettleers up by 4. Thorson gives a look at the runner. He now fires home. Fastball down low. Aubrey Major having himself a nice summer too. At bats limited, but 11 for his first 27, so a 4.07 clip at that. Now some clouds starting to come over McKeon Park, so things have gotten a little darker. Lights are starting to turn on. 1-0, grounded foul. So Thorson looking to minimize damage again here. Kettleers one more time, stranded 3 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. There's 2 aboard here in the 4th. Hyannis has out hit him. 5 hits to the Kettleers 1. But they have cruised off free passes. 1-1. Breaking ball off the front leg of Major. And He's going to take a second to reset outside the batter's box as he's going to shake it out. That one hit his front leg or knee area, and it's going to go to a 1-2 count. And it looked like it hit right off the side of his left knee. At least that's how he signaled it. He looked back at catcher Hunter Goodman and tapped his left knee, signaling that that's where it got him. He's back into the box. Thorson on the mound, a 1-2 count with a 4-0 Cotuit lead. Pitch, breaking ball upstairs, and the count levels. Deuce is wild. 2-2 with 2 outs. 2 Kettleers runners aboard. Oviedo at second. Cam Hill at first after being hit by a pitch. Some action warming in the Hyannis bullpen. It's Cole Pletka getting loose down the left field line. Thorson ready, the 2-2. Swing and a high drive out to right field. Mosley coming over to his left. He's got a beat on it, and he makes the grab coming toward the line for the 3rd out of the inning. So Major looked like he gave it a right off the bat, but it came dying down out in right field at McKeon Park. And that's how the top of the 4th comes to a conclusion. So for the Kettleers in the inning, 1 run, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. As we bring you back for the bottom of the 4th at McKeon Park, it's Cotuit 4, Hyannis nothing, with the 8-9-1 due up for the Harbor Hawks. And Cotuit manager Mike Roberts opts to go to the bullpen after 3 innings. And I'll bring in the right-hander Richard Brereton for his 6th appearance of the summer. Right-hander kicks, fires. Carlson swings and pops one foul behind home plate. So Brereton, a two-way player, has thrown 10 2/3 innings entering this start. 4.21 ERA, 4 walks to 13 strikeouts. Carlson waves the bat inside the box as Brereton fires home. It's down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now as a hitter, Brereton hasn't seen a whole lot of time. He's only appeared in 2 games as an infielder. He spent much more time up on top of the bump. As he stares down his catcher, Cody Pasek gets the sign, winds and deals. Swing and a miss from Carlson, 1-2. Carlson's already struck out once today, so 0 for 1 entering this at bat. McIntyre awaits on deck. Slight breeze here at McKeon Park and inside the press box. Still blowing out toward right center a little bit. Pitch to Carlson, line drive through the gap and into left field. Carlson hits the bag at first, and he picks up his first hit of the night. And the first base runner of the bottom of the fourth is aboard with the first batter for Hyannis.
Well, the bottom of the lineup trying to see what they can do. Brooks, we mentioned the home run the other night, but otherwise it's been a struggle for him at the plate. So good to see him square one up there and send it through the left side into left.
So now the number 9 hitter, Mitch McIntyre, comes in. So a two-way player that's a pitcher first for Cotuit, set to square off with a two-way player that's a hitter first for Hyannis. Infielders coming in a little bit, or at least the third baseman, Schmidt. A long pause from Brereton. Now time's called as McIntyre wants to step out. So McIntyre adjusts the Velcro on his batting gloves. He'll tap the about 4 times. And he wiggles the bat above his shoulder. Throw over to first from Brereton, and back safely with a dive, the runner Brooks Carlson. So Brooks has already had some success against Cotuit. He homered in the last contest against them, an opposite field shot out at Lowell Park. And now a single in his last at bat as McIntyre slaps one at the first baseman. Mervis can't field it cleanly for a second, throws to second, and he gets the first out of the inning. So Mervis came in on the ball, hit off the heel of his glove, but picked it up with ease and made a strong fire over to Oviedo at second. So a 3-6 fielder's choice erases Carlson off the base paths, but it'll bring up Anthony Servideo with 1 out, 1 aboard. Hyannis trails by 4. They're looking to chip away once again. They've already done it a couple times this week. A leadoff of first is McIntyre, about 2 steps or so. Brereton bends his knees, now fires over to first, and Mitch is back with a dive. Again, if you date back to the last game against Cotuit, Hyannis was down 8-3, put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the 8th to tie it. Pitch, off speed, good for a strike. But an Arajanu solo blast in the bottom of the frame gave Cotuit a 9-8 lead and gave their fans a new hope. 0-1, misses away, 1 ball, 1 strike, and Servideo evens the count in his 3rd plate appearance.
How long did you have that one in the back pocket?
All right, maybe there was a little bit of pun intended there. Maybe just a little bit. McIntyre dives back again after a throw over to first from Brereton. And Servideo steps out, now back in. He's already reached base twice today, both times safely with a single and a walk. Ole Miss Rebel lightly tapping the bat on his left shoulder. Brereton sets fires inside and down, 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Wind picking up a little bit now. The American flag that resides out in right center field, just behind the scoreboard, blowing a little bit more immensely than it was a couple minutes ago. Hyannis trailing by 4, looking to get it going. Pitch to Servideo inside, gets by the catcher Pasek, and McIntyre's going to advance to second. So Mitch stands in scoring position. Servideo way ahead at a 3-1 count. And Servideo looking to get it going a little bit in his summer as well. He reached base twice yesterday, was 1 for 4 with a walk, also a run scored. Already reached base twice tonight. Just a pitch away from making it a 3rd time. Throw over to second from Brereton. Oviedo catches tags, but Mitch is back in safe. He only had a short lead. So Oviedo shifted way to his left, playing up the middle. There's a large hole on the left side of the infield. Schmidt playing a bit to his left and off the line. And now Brereton comes set right at the letters, delivers home. Down low, and Servideo reaches for the 3rd time tonight. Second walk in as many tries as he flips the bat toward the dugout, jogs down to first. And there's 2 on, 1 down for Jordan Westberg. So time's going to be called. Head coach Mike Roberts is going to walk his way out to the mound for a conference. So the Harbor Hawks out hitting the Cavaliers by a pretty sizable amount. 6-1. The only Cotuit hit, the Matthew Mervis 2-run shot. But you want to get a rally started, you got the right guy at the plate. One more time. Welcome to Hyannis Jordan Westberg. Put together a phenomenal 2019 season for Mississippi State. Spent some time with Team USA at tryouts, now here with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and he's set to make his third at-bat of the summer on the Cape. Meeting adjourns, Brereton stays in the game, infielders retreat. Cody Pasek wants one final word with his right-handed arm, turns back to the mound for just a second as he starts to walk back and now makes a jog along with home plate umpire Fred DeJesus. But Jordan Westberg, his 2019 season consisted of a .294 average, 29 extra base hits, 6 of them for long balls, 61 runs batted in like Brendan mentioned, and also reached base at a .402 clip. So his on base for the season was above 400. And funny enough, that only ranked third on the team. Now, Pasek's going to walk back out to the mound again for a quick word with Brereton. Right-hander out of Emory has the glove over his mouth, going over a little bit of a report with the catcher Pasek out of Maine. The Mississippi State Bulldog Westberg, outside of the right-handed box, adjusts the gloves. But he was part of a Mississippi State team, much like his Harbor Hawk teammate Rowdy Jordan, who of course is also his collegiate teammate. 52-15 record, finished third in the SEC, and went all the way to Omaha for the College World Series. First pitch, swing and a high drive out to deep right center field. Back goes Major at the wall, looks up, it's gone! Jordan Westberg, a 3-run shot out to right center, and it's 4-3 Cotuit in the bottom of the 4th inning. How about that as an opening act?
Way to make an impact right off the bat. No pun intended, like you just said about Araja Noob. But this time it's Jordan Westberg getting the better of Cotuit going deep. Out to right center, Aubrey Major gave it all the effort he could, leaping at the wall, but not enough. This ballpark couldn't hold it. And Hyannis, just like that, right back in the ballgame.
And he absolutely put a torch into that one. Slugs it the opposite way. Took Major all the way back to the wall. He gave a leap out of courtesy, but the ball about 7 feet out of reach. Now it's Jared DeSantolo with one out. He takes a first pitch strike. I think it's safe to say Hyannis just got a pretty sizable reinforcement, Brendan.
Absolutely, and this ballpark has some new life.
Pitch to DeSantolo. Ground ball up the middle. Oviedo to his left. Fields letter high. Throws across, but it pulls the first baseman Mervis off the bag. Mervis pulled to his left. Couldn't corral the baseball either. And DeSantolo's on at first with one down.
Well, the wheel's starting to loosen up off the wagon for Cotuit here in this inning. The home run from Westberg, and now a chopper to Oviedo. He had to make a tough play trying to take it out of the glove and make a throw over to Mervis at first. First baseman had to stretch a little bit, but DeSantolo's speed made the play a bit tougher.
So now Hunter Goodman, the hitter. DeSantolo a short lead. Brereton fires back quickly, but Jared's got a head first slide about half a body length in safely. But Jordan Westberg, no time wasted. Had 2 flyouts to begin the night, but then the 3-run shot a minute ago. Brereton the stretch, but fires over again. DeSantolo back safely. So to preview the Bulldog Westberg a little bit more. He was a freshman All-American in 2018. After that, he played his summer with the Elmira Pioneers of the Perfect Game League. As Goodman swings and sends a high towering fly ball into fairly deep left field, Robinson has a beat on it. Moving a bit to his left at the track, he makes the grab. Goodman puts 2 hands to the top of his helmet, knowing he just missed the long ball again by a couple feet. He'll jog back to the dugout with 2 outs for Edward Julian.
And Goodman just a bit under that one. It was a breaking ball inner half, and Goodman turned on it. Got a good piece of it, just not enough to get it back past the warning track and over the wall.
That brings up Julian, the hitter. DeSantolo a very short lead first. Brereton turns the shoulders to give him a look, but now it comes set from the stretch. Fires home, swinging a pop-up foul, out of play on the left side. But to get back to Westberg, after a freshman All-American honoree in 2018, he went to play with the Elmira Pioneers of the Perfect Game League. That was all too easy for him. A .368 average with 28 hits, 11 for extra bases, Also stole 8 bags and walked more than he struck out. His on base with the Pioneers, 505. Pitch to Julian down low. So Westberg was reaching base over half the time last summer. Then he puts together a phenomenal 2019. He started in every game during the Bulldogs' postseason run to the College World Series. He started in every game, period, in 2019. Now here he is in Hyannis. Pitch to Julian, it's up high. DeSantelo a late steal. No throw from Pasek down to second, and Jared slides in safely. So DeSantelo, a delayed steal, nobody covering at second base. Gonzalez, the second baseman, shifted way to his left. Oviedo a bit to his right. And the late steal works perfectly to put another Hyannis runner in scoring position. Cotuit leads 4-3. Hyannis trailing by 1, but Julian an RBI opportunity with DeSantelo at second. Fire back from Brereton, but Jared a head first dive safely. So Cotuit put up 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth. But a Jordan Westberg 3-run home run has cut the lead to just 1 for the Kettleers. Mike Roberts is going to call time, and he's going to issue his left hand out to the bullpen, signaling the end of Brereton's evening. So Julian's going to have his at-bat paused at a 2-1 count with 2 outs. A runner on second, a 4-3 Cotuit lead in the bottom of the fourth. Brereton steps off the mound, and we'll have the new arm for you when we come back on the other side of the break, when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. As we bring you back for the bottom of the fourth, it'll be the left-hander Matt Moore out of Purdue University, set to come onto the mound and face Edward Julian in the middle of a 2-1 count with 2 outs. Cotuit leading 4-3. Moore the stretch in the offering. Inside, it's 3-1. So for Matt Moore making his 6th appearance, much of the same as Richard Brereton was. 6 1/3 innings, a 1.42 ERA, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Kicks and fires the 3-1, and it's called a strike, borderline on the outside corner and down. Count runs full to Edward Julian, 3-2.
I don't know if that one was borderline. That looked to be well out of the zone, but Fred DeJesus had other things in mind.
3-2 to Julian. Rocks and fires, swing and a miss, that ends the inning. So Matt Moore comes in, throws 3 pitches, strikes out Julian to end the bottom of the fourth. But the damage has been done on the 3-run blast from Jordan Westberg to make it 4-3 Cotuit. For Hyannis in the inning, 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. We'll go to the top of the 5th when we return. on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Top of the fifth here from McKeon Park. Chad Gassman opting to continue with his starter, Sam Thorson, as he's back to the hill, entering his fifth inning of work. He's given up 4 runs, just 1 hit, but a boatload of free passes. And it hasn't come back to bite him just yet. Jordan Westberg making an immediate impact here in his first game in a Hyannis uniform as he launched one, but this one is torched to deep right field, sending Mosley back to the wall, and that one is out of here. So Parker Chambers immediately responding with a solo blast. The second hit at the knife for Cotuit, and it puts them up by 2, 5-3.
And Chavers is just becoming a Harbor Hawk killer, isn't he? Second home run in as many games against the Harbor Hawks. And that one just blasted out to deep right over the old scoreboard down the right field line. That makes it 5-3 Cotuit.
So Cole Pleka gets up and starts throwing in the Hyannis bullpen. He's warming up rather quickly. And helmet taps all around for Parker Chambers, the DH for the Cavaliers in the dugout. As Christian Robinson steps in. So Thorson continues to work. First pitch, a breaking ball down. And Gassman letting Thorson work out of his own battles. Cotuit has already placed 3 arms on the map. Matt Moore finished off the last inning in relief of Richard Brereton. Thorson fires a 1-0 fastball, a cut and a miss from the hitter Robinson. Brereton lasted just 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 hits, three runs. All 3 of them earned. The home run from Westberg. Walked 1 and didn't strike out anybody. The 1-1 to Robinson. Fastball fouled straight back off the screen. So a ball and 2 strikes for Thorson. Pleka continues to get loose down the left field line. The pause right-hander into the windup. Here comes the next pitch. A breaking ball in the air to left. Chasing McIntyre back toward the track. He's got it lined up. He'll make the grab a few steps in front of the track. So 1 down for Cody Pasek. Thorson inducing some soft contact that time. Just a lazy fly ball out to McIntyre and left. No problem. And Pasek comes up. He's over 2. To turn the tide for himself as he stands in from the left side. Bounced out to Brooks Carlson at first and popped out to Edward Julian in foul ground down the third base line. First pitch to him, a fastball. That one sent on a line. 1 hops in front of Rigsby Mosley in right field. So Cody Pasek finds himself aboard for the first time tonight. So he picks up the 3rd hit of the ball game for the visiting Cavaliers, and that'll give things over to Casey Schmidt.
And talk about Cotuit capitalizing on opportunities. You just mentioned that was the 3rd Cavaliers hit. That was the first Cotuit hit that wasn't a home run. Mervis had the 2-run blast. Chavers had the solo home run. And those were their only 2 hits before that single to right.
So Pasek picking up the first base knock. He gets a short lead at first, held on by Brooks Carlson. First pitch is another bat goes flying toward the screen. And that's the 3rd time we've seen this tonight. All of them coming from the Cavaliers. But just an unbelievable, there really is no way to describe it, Lyle. It's really not.
I think we might have to start keeping track of how many bats are getting thrown. I mean, again, Rowdy with 2 yesterday in the same at bat. There were 2 earlier from Cam Hill. Now there's 1 from Casey Schmidt. I mean, it feel like maybe we should start keeping a tally. It's something you don't think about again, that how many thrown bats there being, kind of just a unusual thing that we've seen over the last week, but there's just oddly been so many.
Well, Schmidt cracks a smile back to home plate umpire Fred DeJesus as he steps back in. Well, we can start the tally at 5 at least, Lyle. We just counted them. Thorson fires an 0-1. Fastball cut and a miss. No flying bat this time, but the count's 0-2. With Adam Oviedo awaiting in the on-deck area. So 1 on and 1 out in the Cotuit half of the 5th. They've already plated 1. They stretched the lead out to 5-3 on the solo blast from Parker Chavers to lead off the frame. So these Cotuit bats have been dangerous all season long, but Hyannis is hanging around with them here at home at McKeon Park. Thorson set at the belt. Couple peeks over the shoulder to first. Now an 0-2 breaking ball misses outside. Trying to sneak one back door and give Casey Schmidt a new paint job, but instead it's 1-2. Cole Pleca slowing down the activity a little bit down the left field line in the bullpen, but still continuing to loosen up. No action on the other side of the diamond in the Cotuit bullpen. Pasek off of first, a 1-2 count to Schmidt. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs. Try to entice the Cotuit third baseman to reach out of the zone. Well, those gray clouds that came rolling in a couple of innings ago, starting to move off toward the right field side of play. There are some light blue and orange pinkish clouds poking through just to the left of the batter's eye in left field. Thorson gets his sign from the catcher Goodman and comes set. He's ready for a 2-2 offering. Here it is. Fastball down. It skips off the leg pad of Goodman toward the brick wall in the backstop. Advancing up to second base, Pasek. He trots in no problem. So the count will fill to the third baseman Schmidt, and a runner in scoring position again for Cotuit. So this Cotuit offense continuing to put the pressure on Hyannis and the starter Thorson. So the right-hander will get a new baseball and step atop the rubber again. A large lead out at second base for Pasek. Nobody holding him on. He's about a quarter of the way down the baseline. Now Thorson gives him a look back to second. A payoff pitch to Schmidt. Fastball, that one's roped and past the diving glove of Westberg into center field, a base hit. Coming around third to score is Pasek. He'll cross the plate, no problem. An RBI single for Casey Schmidt. Extends the lead 6-3 Cotuit.
Well, the Kettleers finally starting to string some hits together. Back-to-back singles, that one for an RBI. Their third hit of the inning. And Chad Gassman's coming out to the mound. We'll see if this ends Thorson's night.
And Gassman will signal for the right-hander down the left field line in the bullpen, and that will conclude things for Sam Thorson here tonight at McKeon Park. So he'll exit in a 6-3 ball game with 1 on and 1 out in the top half of the 5th inning. We'll have the pitching change for you on the other side of the break. It's the right-hander Cole Pleca. We'll be back in just a moment on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Cole Pleca, the Dayton University right-hander, steps on the rubber for Hyannis off the pitching change. He comes in relief of Sam Thorson. Thorson lasted 4 1/3, gave up 4 hits, walked 7, and struck out 3. His line is still open, however, as he's responsible for the runner Casey Schmidt at first. Adam Oviedo will greet Pleca. He pumps in a fastball for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Cole making his 3rd appearance out of the pen for Hyannis this summer. He's tossed 3 innings, struck out 4, walked 1, gave up 3 hits, and an ERA of 3 flat. He last pitched against these Cotuit Cavaliers at Lowell Park. That was on July the 1st. 0-1 fastball misses in the dirt, chested up by Goodman. No advance for the runner Schmidt down at first. And in that game against these Cavaliers, Pleca went 2 innings, gave up 2 runs, just 1 earned, however. Surrendered 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 3. So Oviedo waving the bat above his right shoulder as he stares down Pleca, his 1-1. Big looping breaking ball stayed up high. It's 2 balls and a strike. In Pleca's first outing of the season, you have to go back about a week or so before that Cotuit game. That was against Harwich. It's game 1 of the doubleheader and a 7-2 loss. He pitched 1 inning, but it was rather clean. Gave up just 1 hit. Fires in a fastball. That one outside. It's 3-1. So Pleca with a small sample size on the 2019 summer so far, but coming into action here in the 5th in a 6-3 ball game with the Cavaliers in front. He's trying to limit any more offensive attack from these Cotuit bats. They've been so dangerous, specifically against these Harbor Hawks as he spins back to first. In head first is Casey Schmidt. Oviedo's picked up an RBI tonight. That was back in the 2nd inning on a sacrifice bunt in which Sam Thorson had to come off the mound and make the tag on Oviedo himself. 3-1 from Pleca, cut and a miss on a fastball, strike 2 when the count fills. So Pleca, a very imposing figure on the mound. 6'8" frame. Weighs in at about 250. High atop the rubber, stares down Oviedo. Payoff pitch is back up the middle to his left. Servideo, a tough off-balance throw to Carlson is in time. So a great play from the sure-handed Servideo, ranging back up the middle to make the play, and an off-balance throw to Carlson retires the side. So Cotuit, they tack on 2 more. They make it 6-3 in response to Hyannis' 3 spot in the 4th. And Hyannis will look to respond when they return to the plate in the bottom of the frame when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis sends 6, 7, and 8 to the plate. Rigsby Mosley, Rowdy Jordan, and Brooks Carlson against the southpaw Matt Moore. The 3rd arm of the night for Cotuit. He's back for his first full inning of relief. Mosley digs in 1 for 2 on the evening so far. He's singled back in the 3rd inning in his last plate appearance. Moore winds and fires out of the stretch. First pitch was a fastball low. So Hyannis returning to the plate with another 3-run deficit. Jordan Westberg helped him out the last time Hyannis was at the dish with a 3-run blast. 1-0 from Moore. Fastball low again. It's 2-0. So Westberg, no doubt, a huge addition to this Hyannis lineup going forward. But the man leading off this inning, Rigsby Mosley, starting to come around in his own right. We talked about the triple he had the other night at YD a bit ago. Moore's 2-0. Fastball down Main Street for a strike, 2-1. And Rigsby's a guy who hit at Troy. He's been not an everyday guy, but he's been inserted in the lineup over the past couple of nights for Chad Gassman as the bat's starting to heat up. 2-1 missed away with a fastball from Moore. It's now 3-1.
Average is really getting up there for him, too. I mean, he sits at 262 now. He's been racking up some hits.
The 3-1. Fastball put at the top of the zone from Moore, and the count fills. Well, Mosley played 55 games in his season at Troy, picked up 79 hits. Good for a 356 average. The 3-2. Outside, and Mosley will head down to first with a free pass to start things off in the bottom of the fifth. So the walks have been flooding the scorebook for both sides tonight. Saw Sam Thorson surrender 7 of them in his start tonight. He has since exited the ballgame in favor of Cole Pleka out of the pen. Well, transition things to Rowdy Jordan. Rowdy picked up a base hit earlier on in the ballgame. That was just his second of the summer. But again, another bat in this Hyannis lineup that's been inserted over the past week or so. Can really swing it. Righty-lefty matchup as Moore kicks and fires back to first. Mosley's there in time. So Hyannis once again find themselves trailing as we enter the middle frames, and the offense going to have to put on another magic act to come back in this one. And another late rally could perhaps be in order tonight. More kicks and fires. Fastball way inside. Jordan skipping out of the way of that one as it reached all the way into the right-handed batter's box.
Yeah, that one went behind him. Rowdy had to move forward just to get out of the way of it. Unfortunately for him, he does.
Rowdy flashing the quick reflexes that time, doing a little hop step. Get over the back of that baseball from Matt Moore. Count 1-0. Mosley aboard at first. A rather short lead. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. That catches the outside part of the plate. The count draws even a ball into strike. Chad Gassman flashing signals down the third baseline over toward Rigsby Mosley at first. So Jordan looking to reach base for the second time tonight. Nobody out in the Hyannis half of the fifth. Before the 1-1, another check on Mosley at first. He's back. Just past the 8 o'clock hour here in Hyannis. First pitch was a little bit later than originally scheduled at 6 o'clock. As we play into the fifth inning. Moore peak toward first. Now he comes home with a 1-1. That missed outside. Tried to sneak a fastball by Jordan. Couldn't do it. 3 runs on just 7 hits for Hyannis tonight. 6 runs on 4 hits, but the Cavaliers have been the beneficiaries of, again, 7 free passes. Moore set at the belt. Here's his 2-1. Cut and a miss from Jordan. Fastball in the inner half of the plate as he goes trotting across the home plate area. Took a big hearty hack at that one, and the count evens at 2-2. Most of the crowd still here at McKeon Park. Bleachers down the third baseline, still about 3/4 of the way filled, and even some spectators on the hill past the Harbor Hawk dugout. Moore kicks and delivers a 2-2, another one in the dirt. That one just elevated above the paint of the right-handed batter's box as Jordan was brushed back a bit. So another full count for the southpaw at 3-2. Walked Mosley to lead off this frame. Rowdy Jordan just one pitch away from working a second back-to-back free pass of this inning. Moore set the offering. Just fouled back into the screen. Fastball up and in on 3-2. Moore tried to tie up the hitter Jordan. Just barely getting a piece off the handle to stay alive as Brooks Carlson will go retrieve it in foul ground. And so far this season for Rowdy, again, came in hitting under .50. Picking up that base knock early on in the game, trying to come alive offensively. The next payoff from Moore. Fastball in the air to right. Major has it lined up, moves over just a couple of steps, and he'll make the grab as Mosley retreats back to first. So one gone for Brooks Carlson. And a runner aboard. Brooks also was responsible for one of the 7 hits on the scoreboard for Hyannis. That was a single, but was thrown out as part of a double play attempt by the Cotuit infield back in the 4th inning. So he stands in from the right side, but now time is called. Mike Roberts is going to make his way out to the mound yet again as Cody Pasek and the rest of the infield will join him on the mound for a pitching change. As he makes the signal to the bullpen. 4th arm of the game for the Kettleers coming on here in the 5th inning, a 6-3 ball game when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back at McKeon Park off the pitching changes, Brooks Carlson makes his way back to the home plate area to re-enter the right-handed batter's box. He'll be facing a new arm in Kyle Nicholas, making his 6th appearance of the summer already for the Kettleers. He's racked up 3 saves in 10 1/3. He's struck out 14, walked 8, surrendered 6 hits, and an ERA just above 6 at 6.09. So Carlson steps in with Mosley aboard at first and a spin and a throw back. Mosley just gives a little soft courtesy dive back to the bag. Well, Carlson tonight, again, picked up that base hit in the 4th, struck out back in the 2nd inning. First pitch from Nicholas to him, a chopper right side, ranging over to get it. Gonzalez, he'll flip to first, his only play, and he gets the out there. So Carlson retired 4-3 as Mosley moves up 90 feet to the second base bag, and that'll give things to Mitch McIntyre out of the number 9 spot.
Yeah, it just sounded like it might have broke Brooks's bat as he swung on that one and put it on the ground to the right side. Gonzalez moved pretty quickly to his left, pretty easy play for him, and Mitch McIntyre's now got a chance to bring one in. So Carlson did advance the runner, and we'll see if Hyannis can capitalize with a runner in scoring position.
So Mitch takes a couple of half-practice swings as he steps in with 2 down. Mosley aboard at second, and Nicholas on the mound, a guy that's already seen Hyannis. First time these two teams met back on July the 1st. That was at Lowell Park. Spinning the throw back to second. Mosley's back safely. Nicholas tossed an inning and 2/3 in that game. Surrendered 3 runs, all of them earned. Gave up 2 hits, walked 2, and also struck out 2. McIntyre waits the first pitch. It's a fastball low. So Mitch this season, again, the two-way player for Gassman. He's been featured a bit on the mound and thrown in there in the outfield at the bottom of the lineup like he is tonight out in the number 9 spot playing left. Trevor Hauver receiving a day off. He's played in just about every single contest since he's arrived here on the Cape. Nicholas is 1-0. Fastball down by the shoot tops again. 2 balls, no strikes. And McIntyre this season has not picked up a hit in 6 at-bats with runners in scoring position. But that's currently where Rigsby Mosley stands right now, and he's got a good hitter down at 2-0. I think it was set and Pierce back toward Mosley. Now comes home. A fastball inside, 3-0. Mitch has worked himself into the driver's seat. Even though Mitch has not picked up a base knock with a runner in scoring position, he has notched himself 4 RBIs. So not picking up the base knocks, but being productive nonetheless as he takes a strike. A fastball in the outer part of the plate. It's 3-1. However, batting here with 2 down, a sac fly would do absolutely no good to advance Mosley to third. He's going to have to try and find some grass in the outfield. Right-hander Nicholas with a 3-1 in the dirt, ball 4. Spiked it up to the plate. 2 walks in the inning. Rigsby Mosley, that's how he found himself aboard. And now McIntyre will trot down to first. And that'll give things back to Servideo at the top of the order.
Well, they've got something brewing. They've taken advantage off of a couple free passes. Now it flips the lineup back to the top. Anthony Servideo, a guy who really is starting to feel like Brennan. He's getting his summer going a bit. Reached base twice yesterday. It's reached base 3 times in 3 tries already today. Starting to find his groove a bit.
So Anthony waves the bat above the left shoulder as he watches a fastball at the top of the zone, a called strike. It's 0-1. And if Servideo can find a way aboard here, that would give things to the man of the hour, Jordan Westberg. He resides in the on-deck area. He's loosening up. Responsible for all 3 runs put on the board from Hyannis tonight. The 0-1. Breaking ball runs way inside. Spinning Servideo back off the plate a bit. And Anthony tonight in his own right, he's reached all 3 times he's been at the plate. He's drawn a couple walks and singled back in the first inning to start things off for this Hyannis offense. He's got a 1-1 count against the Ball State right-hander Nicholas here. Kicks and deals. Breaking ball, that's in on the outer half of the plate, strike 2. One started a bit wide, but tailed back and just caught the outside black. Servideo is going to have to hang tough with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Mostly at second, McIntyre aboard at first. Nicholas trying to work out of a jam. The 1-2, cut and a miss. He got him. Nicholas just rears back and fires a high heater, and you get Servideo to wave and miss. So Hyannis will strand 2. They draw a couple of walks in the inning, but nothing comes of it. 6-3, Cotuit back to the dish in the top half of the 6th inning when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Cotuit brings their top of the order to the dish, starting with Nick Gonzalez here in the 6th. Cole Pleca returns back to the mound for Hyannis. This is his first full inning in relief tonight. Patiently awaiting atop the rubber for Gonzalez to dig in. He's reached base twice tonight, although he's not picked up a hit. Reached on an error back in the first and came around to score, as well as he drew a walk in his next plate appearance. That was in the second. Takes a strike on a breaking ball low and away from Pleca. It's 0-1. Cole in his last couple outings, he's looked really good. Mentioned worked a clean inning against these Cavaliers last time we saw him as a breaking ball missed high. It's 1-1. Or rather, that was a clean inning against Harwich on June the 23rd. July the 1st, he went 2 innings. Gave up 1 run on just 2 hits. So again, pretty efficient on top of the rubber for Hyannis as he fires a 1-1. That one is roped to deep left center field, sending McIntyre back to the wall. He reaches up and he can't make the catch. It's out of his glove. Gonzalez is going to trot into second to throw, cut off by Westberg. But a heck of an effort from Mitch McIntyre out in deep left field. He had a long way to go to track that one down in the alley. Looked like he had it in the glove for a moment, but just trickles out at the last second, and Gonzalez is in scoring position. So the 5th hit of the night for Cotuit up on the board. Edward Julian creeps in toward the lip of the infield grass with the left-handed hitting Cam Hill stepping in. Well, Hill again, the 1-2 hitters at the top of the lineup. Before that last at bat from Gonzalez has not recorded a hit through 5 plate appearances. As a breaking ball misses down, it's 1-0. Hill's been aboard virtue of a walk and a hit by pitch. One of the 7 surrendered by the starter, Sam Thorson, tonight as Pleca fires a 1-0. It's up high. Now these Cotuit bats, no strangers to drawing walks either. Came into action tonight, 3rd in the entire Cape League, drawing 70 walks even. Attack on 7 more. They're up to 77. That surpasses the second place YD Red Sox, the 2-0. Drops down a bunt. Hill does down the third baseline. Julian coming in to get it. Off balance throw to first, not in time. So the Cavaliers playing some small ball, and that'll advance Gonzalez up to 3rd. So it'll be men on the corners for Matt Mervis. Mervis has already driven 1 yard tonight. He went deep. That was in the first inning to start the scoring for the ball game. That was a 2-run shot over the old scoreboard in right field. So Mervis getting some pine tar on those gloves from the handle of the bat. Takes a practice hack and he'll step in. Gonzalez 90 feet away. Cam Hill across the diamond. He resides at first. Pleca into the stretch, set of the belt. First pitch, a breaking ball. Goodman fakes the throw down to second base. Sliding in safely is Cam Hill. So 2 runners in scoring position. Goodman faked the throw down to second to try and entice Gonzalez to gain some ground down the third base line. He didn't do it. Some smart base running from the Cavaliers, advancing 2 into scoring position. No stolen base for Hill on the defensive indifference. Mervis patiently awaiting the 0-1 from Pleca. Here it is. It's a breaking ball outside. Getting back to the trend of some of these Hyannis pitchers, they just haven't had the command on some of these breaking balls. Thorson struggled with it, missed his spot in and out of the zone tonight. Pleca has mostly been missing out of the zone. The 1-1. That one down and in. Pleca relies heavily on that breaking ball. He's a fastball, curveball change guy. So a guy that relies on his off-speed stuff enough. But he has a lot of swing and miss in his arsenal as 1-2-1 fastball has popped up foul up and over the press box out of play. Now Pleca in his 56 and a third innings pitched with Dayton in the 2019 season. Gave up 53 hits, 30 earned, walked 29. But the eye-popping stat in that line is he struck out 81. Picked up a 4.79 ERA in the process as well, but Pleca clearly can blow the ball by some hitters. He's got 2 strikes on Mervis as he asks for time. He'll step out. So the Cavaliers once again threatening here in the sixth. They got 2 on, nobody out. Cole in desperate need of a punch out here. Rivers has already fanned once. Here's a 2-2. Pops one up on the infield. Brooks Carlson calling everyone off as he shades toward the first baseline. He'll make the grab, and there's one down. So a nice easy play as Pleka induces a pop-up on the infield. Carlson, no problem to put that one away. So here's Aubrey Major. And we talked about the power from this Cotuit lineup time and time again tonight. Arajanu, the guy who hit what was the game-winning home run back in Cotuit last week, not in the lineup tonight. But this guy, Aubrey Major, certainly has got some pop in that bat as he rips one down the right field line. That's down for a base hit. One run in to score. That's Gonzalez. Cam Hill motoring in right behind him and diving headfirst into second with a 2 RBI double is Aubrey Major. And that stretches the Cotuit lead out to 8-3. Well, right on cue, Aubrey Major roping one down the right field line. No chance for Carlson to even try and get a glove on that one. A hot shot past the first base bag, plates 2 more, and it's a 5-run Kettleers edge. That'll bring up Parker Chavers. He's already homered in this game. That came back in the 5th inning to lead things off for this Cotuit lineup. But getting back to Aubrey Major for just a second. Cotuit was the team that teamed up with Hyannis at the Fenway Park workout about a week and a half ago. Curveballs dropped in for a strike from Pleka. And Aubrey Major was in the second group of bats to hit in BP that day at Fenway. And he absolutely sent a couple balls into orbit, into the third row of seats in the Green Monster in left field. Pleka fires an 0-1. Breaking ball off the end of the bat, blooper into center, but right at Rowdy Jordan. He lines it up and makes the grab. That one hanging up just long enough for Rowdy to time it up and make the catch. And 2 down for Christian Robinson. But Aubrey Major, along with Arajanu, is currently hanging out in the Cotuit dugout down the first baseline. Both of those guys with some absolute light tower power, and no doubt they'd turn the heads of some scouts at Fenway Park in Boston. So in steps Christian Robinson, 0 for 2 with the walk tonight. First pitch from Pleka, fastball up and in as he swung a more defensive type swing there from Robinson. He fouled it off the screen straight back. Smacks the bat as he steps out of the box, a bit frustrated with himself, knowing that was ball 1. Aubrey Major gathering a short lead out at second base, not held on by either Westberg or Servideo. Now Major starts to dance out at second base as Pleka fires an 0-1 breaking ball in the dirt. Looks like that one might have got a piece of Hunter Goodman behind the dish as he walks it out behind the home plate area. Home plate umpire Fred DeJesus giving the Memphis catcher some time to recover. So Robinson steps in as Pleka re-toes the rubber with the back of the right foot as he stares down Goodman behind the plate. Right-hander set, fires a 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Cody Pasek, leg guards on, stands in the on-deck circle. 1 for 3 tonight. A single as well as scoring a run. One of the 8 on the board for Cotuit. This offense has put up a run in every frame but one. That was in the 3rd inning. Pleka's 2-1 on the ground, right side, through into right field, a base hit. Aubrey Major's going to get the wave around third. No throw from the right fielder Mosley as he just tosses it back into second. So Christian Robinson picks up an RBI single, and that stretches the Cotuit lead out to 6. It's 9-3. So Cole Pleka struggling a bit with the location, and that's been the common theme for these Hyannis arms tonight. So Cody Pasek walks his way up to the plate. He steps in. He's batting with a runner aboard at first. Fresh off an RBI is Christian Robinson down there. Pleca's first offering to Pasek, a breaking ball dropped in on the inner half of the plate. It's ball one. So the score 9-3 here at McKeon Park in Hyannis. On Redshirt Friday, Cotuit's offense exploding again. One that's been so potent this season. 1-0 fired in, breaking ball down. It's 2-0. Cotuit's offense was in the top 5 in most of the major offensive categories on Cape Cod. The one that they were not was batting average. They were placed 7th at 231. But they've racked up the hits in bunches here through 5 2/3 innings of play. 3 balls and no strikes to the hitter Pasek at the dish. Pleca trying to work his way back into this at bat with Pasek. Here's the offering. Breaking ball that catches the inside corner. Pleca slowing the delivery down a bit as the count swells. Full 3-2. Sunset almost complete here at McKeon Park as some dark gray and navy bluish clouds rolling over toward right. The 3-2 misses inside. It's ball 4. Scampering up to second was Christian Robinson on the pitch. So a 2-out walk for Cody Pasek, and that'll bring up Casey Schmidt. So another free pass surrendered by these Hyannis pitchers. This time it's Pleca picking up a free pass. Colt only walked 1 coming into tonight's outing. That one came against these same Kettleers. But in that game at Cotuit at Lowell Park, pretty similar to what this situation currently stands here in Hyannis. It was an 8-3 ball game entering play in the 8th, and the Hyannis bats woke up to erase that deficit as the first pitch to Schmidt was chopped foul down the third base side. The Hyannis offense giving Cotuit a little bit of a taste of their own medicine as they exploded for 5 runs in that 8th inning. Arbrox ultimately wound up dropping the contest 9-8 on the Arajanu game-winning home run. That came in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cotuit held on to take that one. And tonight, they put up 9 runs so far, not even through 6 innings, as this one's on the ground toward third. Julian fields it on a hop. He'll just take it to the bag to third himself for the force. So 5 unassisted, and that's how the top of the 6th inning will end. Cole Pleca strolls off the mound. More damage done from the Cotuit bats. They put up a 3 spot in the 6th and stretch the lead out to 6th. It's 9-3 from McKeon Park. Hyannis comes back to the dish when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. The Hyannis bats back to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. Kyle Nicholas back on the hill for the Kettleers, the right-handed arm. He'll be facing Jordan Westberg, Jared DeSantelo, and Hunter Goodman in this frame. And Westberg responsible for just one of the 7 hits, but perhaps the biggest one of the game so far as he pops up a bunt as Pasek dives and tries to make the basket catch and foul ground. He can't come up with it. So Westberg squared around on the first pitch of the inning. It was a high fastball. He popped it straight up, and Pasek came out of the crouch, gave maximum effort and foul ground, and it came up just a bit short. So the count 0-1 to Westberg as he'll reset. Fred DeJesus dusting some dirt off the plate to give Pasek some time to recover behind the plate. He took a hard fall on the stomach. So Westberg pinwheels the bat toward Nicholas a couple times. Right-hander swing back and forth on the rubber, comes home with an 0-1. It's a high fastball up and in. So Westberg, in addition to the home run, a pair of flyouts, one to right, one to center. But picked up the long ball and 3 RBIs as he sends this one into orbit down the left field line. That one is way out of here. The second home run of the game for Jordan Westberg. An absolute moonshot. Second home run of the night for Westberg, the second of the season. And an absolute majestic shot to make it 9-4. That one was absolutely crushed. And that is the kind of pop that Jordan Westberg has. The power in that right-handed bat is off the charts. He had 6 home runs in his season at Mississippi State, the Bulldogs. And that one right there, an absolute no-doubter into about the 3rd row of trees here at McKeon Park and left. So Jared DeSantolo steps in, takes the fastball high and away. It's 1-0. But that home run from Jordan Westberg, an absolute blast. His second in back-to-back plate appearances. DeSantolo takes another fastball at the letters. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Jordan Westberg, my goodness. And there's no telling just how much of a difference he'll make in this Hyannis lineup going forward. 2-0 fastball again misses out of the hand of Nicholas. 3 balls, no strikes with Jared standing at the plate. Jared's been aboard twice. 1 pitch away from drawing his first walk and being aboard 3 times. A called strike. Nicholas stuffed a fastball at the top of the zone to make it 3-1. Well, that was the 8th hit of the night for Hyannis. That's solo blast from Jordan Westberg. Turned on an inside fastball and absolutely lasered one out of here. 3-1 cut and a miss from DeSantolo. Foul tipped into the glove. So the count fills up on the FAU Owl. He'll take a step out to adjust the gloves. So DeSantolo batting here. Nobody on, nobody out. Into the line, a 3-2 pitch. Downstairs and low. A fastball away. And DeSantolo trots down to first. He's got a walk to put a runner aboard for another power threat, Hunter Goodman. So Hyannis provided with some reinforcements in Roundy Jordan and Jordan Westberg. Couple of Jordans out of Mississippi State. Goodman launched his 3rd home run of the season last night against the YD Red Sox. Ultimately in a losing effort, 9-7. In a game shortened due to darkness, Nicholas turns and fires back to first. DeSantolo's in standing. Some action down the left field line. A right-hander loosening up for Hyannis. 9-4 the score here. Bottom of the 6th inning from McKeon Park. 1 on, nobody out. Nicholas is offering. Goodman swings and sends one foul out of play off to the right over the Cotuit dugout. Goodman tonight trying to turn around an 0-for-3 performance. He's fallen out to left twice and sandwiched in between those a drop third strike in the 3rd. He reached but was stranded 90 feet away from coming around to score at 3rd base. DeSantolo off of first, the 0-1. Big cut and a miss at a high breaking ball. Goodman's been kept a bit off balance in this at-bat. He got a piece of the first pitch of the at-bat to send it foul out of play, and that time a wave and a miss through a high curveball. Nicholas at the belt, his 0-2. Cut and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Goodman. Second time tonight, Goodman has struck out. So he heads back to the bench, and there's one gone for Edward Julian. So as the Auburn Tiger gets set to dig in from the left side with DeSantolo 90 feet down the first baseline. The third baseman tonight for Hyannis, he's reached base twice. A walk and a single to his name so far tonight. First pitch to him, fastball back up the middle, a chopper to Oviedo at short. He'll range over to tag the second base bag himself and on to first in time to complete the double play. So 6 unassisted, 3 double play ends the Hyannis threat in the 6th. But they put one up on the board. Another home run, the second of the game from the Mississippi State Bulldog, Jordan Westberg. Cuts the lead back to 5. It's now 9-4 with Cotuit coming back to the plate when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. As we bring back here to McKeon Park for action in the top of the 7th in a 9-4 ball game, Chad Gassman turns to the Moorhead State right-hander. It's Alex Garberg on in relief. He's making his 4th appearance, his 3rd out of the bullpen. He's tossed 4 1/3 so far in the 2019 summer, struck out 3, walked 6. He surrendered 6 hits, but it's been a rough go of it for the right-hander on his summer so far. Last time he pitched was against this Cotuit lineup. As part of the 9-8 loss, Garberg contributed 1 inning, surrendered 2 earned runs, 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 1. So he fires the first pitch into the first hitter of the inning, Adam Oviedo. It's a high fastball, a called strike. It's 0-1. So Garberg has had his ups and downs with Hyannis so far this summer. An ERA plus 14. Working with an 0-1 count, he drops in a breaking ball that runs too far outside. So Garberg comes on in relief of Cole Pleka. Cole won an inning and 2/3 tonight, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs. Walked 1, didn't fan anybody. Garberg's 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball low, it's 2-1. Hyannis was able to strike for 1 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The second home run of the game for Jordan Westberg. And Lyle, what a debut he's had tonight. An absolute moonshot, a no-doubter. Garberg fires a 2-1 fastball that misses.
Well, I thought the first one was impressive the other way. That one was into the third line of trees just beyond McKeon Park. That was absolutely blasted, and it got out of here in the blink of an eye.
I mean, it was an absolute rocket out of here in a hurry as fastball misses downstairs from Garberg. He surrenders a 5-pitch walk to Oviedo to start things here in the 7th. So back to the top of the order for a dangerous hitter in Nick Gonzalez. And for Garbrick, that's the 7th walk of the season. We saw Sam Thorson walk 7 in his start tonight. But Garbrick out of the bullpen, just trying to keep this deficit right where it is and give Hyannis any hope of coming back in the final 3 trips to the plate. First pitch to Gonzalez, a fastball inside. It's 1-0. So Oviedo aboard at first. Second time he's found himself on the base paths tonight. Matter of fact, it's been on a pair of walks. First one came back in the 4th inning. Garbrick ready is 1-0. Fastball, a called strike at the top of the zone. Just stuffed one in there as Gonzalez looks back toward the Jesus behind the plate and gives him a couple words. Well, if you're just joining us, it's been an offensive game here from McKeon Park so far. 9 runs put up from Cotuit, 4 for Hyannis, and that's where we stand in the top of the 7th. Garbrick out of the stretch is 1-1. Breaking ball, Gonzalez slaps it down the right field line, but hooking well foul. That will get up and over the Cotuit bullpen out of play. The count 1-2. Garbrick looking to earn his first strikeout of the night. He's ranked up 3 on the season in 3 appearances. Struck out 2 in his first outing against Brewster. Nobody in his June 23rd outing against Harwich. And he fanned 1 in his most recent appearance against these Kettleers. Looking for one here against Gonzalez. The 1-2 is chopped foul as it trickles toward the left by the Hyannis dugout. Gonzalez tonight, once again, he's been an on-base machine. Just a guy that knows how to hit and knows how to get on base. Just one heck of a ball player at the top of this Cotuit order. Doubled and scored back in the 6th inning. Facing the Moorhead State right-hander Garbrick here with a 1-2 count. He's got a runner aboard his teammate Oviedo 90 feet down the first baseline. Garbrick set his 1-2. That one sent in the air to right field. Mostly playing it straight up, comes in a few steps. He'll make the grab. The 1 down, Gonzalez is retired for the 2nd time tonight. And that'll bring up Cam Hill. So Chad Gassman has emerged from the dugout. He looks like he's on his way out to the mound. No action down in the Hyannis bullpen. The rest of the infield joining Gassman, as well as Hunter Goodman, who's trotted out from behind his spot behind the plate. The hitter will be Cam Hill. He's been aboard 3 times. A walk, a hit by pitch, and a base hit. So Gassman out to have a quick conference with the right-hander from Moorhead State. And wow, this could perhaps be about anything. Approach, had a battle Hill at the plate.
Maybe it's a defensive shift, but the meeting concludes. Gassman walks back to the dugout. But yeah, like you said, there's nobody getting warm in the Harbor Hawk bullpen, and there's not much of anything going on out there. So, I mean, Garbrick, who just came into the game, he's only faced 2 batters. He's not coming out.
So Gassman retreats back to his spot behind the screen over by the Hyannis dugout. Garbrick back to the rubber. Infield at their normal positions. Edward Julian creeping in down the 3rd baseline. Carlson holding the runner aboard at first. Hill awaits the first offering. Here it is. Fastball, broken bat, looper, and that's going to get down into right field in front of Mosley. Oviedo scampers up 90 feet to second base. And it's a 1-out base hit for Cam Hill. That'll turn things over to Matt Mervis.
Yeah, just a broken bat shot that finds the hole through the 3-4 gap. Cam Hill, a guy who's coming into the game in much need of upping that average a bit. He's done that. 2 for 3 tonight. Has reached base 4 straight times.
So as Mervis steps in, batting with a couple runners on and 1 down. A 9-4 ball game here from McKeon Park. Garbrick trying to work out of the 7th inning. First offering, a breaking ball low. And there's been some continuing trends with this Hyannis team. It's been walks on both sides of things. And of course, airborne bats has been a trend tonight. But more walks from Garbrick, 1 to lead off the inning to Oviedo. He stands in scoring position. 1-0 breaking ball again misses down. It's 2-0. Cavaliers came into tonight with 70 walks as a ball club. They've tacked on 8 more here tonight. Moorhead's 2-0 offering. Breaking ball slapped left side. That's through into left. Oviedo's going to be waved around third. He's coming home. The throw to the plate to Goodman is not going to be in time as it skips out of the glove, and Oviedo steps on the plate as he plows over Goodman. So that will extend the lead to 10-4. Both runners into scoring position. It's an RBI double from Matt Mervis. Sent a hot shot in between Westberg and Julian on the left side of the infield. And the lead has been extended back to 6 for Cotuit.
Yeah, and tough there. McIntyre made a really nice throw to the plate. I mean, fielded it out in front, came up throwing, delivered a strike to Goodman, just couldn't quite hold on to the baseball.
So Cam Hill went first to third on the play. Mervis had no problem going up to second base on the throw from McIntyre in left. And Oviedo providing a bulldozer type slide, knocking Goodman down as the ball skipped out of his glove. Now this is the left-handed hitting Aubrey Major with 2 in scoring position. He watches a breaking ball down central for a strike, belt high. So these Cotuit bats racking up the RBIs in bunches. That's the 4th of the game for Matt Mervis, who stands out at second base. Garbrick's 0-1. Wave and a miss from Major. Over the top of a breaking ball, 0-2. Garbrick trying to do what he can to escape any more trouble in the top of the inning. 10 runs on 10 hits for the Kettleers as an 0-2 comes in. A chopper right side. Servideo, it gets under the glove again. Cam Hill's in to score. Matt Mervis trotting in right behind him. Major scurries up to second base, and the second error of the game for Anthony Servideo is a costly one.
And he just tried to come in and field the ball on the charge, but didn't get that glove down quite enough, and like you said, it skipped right under it.
So 2 more runs come in to cross the plate, and that extends things to 12-4 Cotuit. Things have gone from bad to worse for Hyannis here tonight. Cotuit with an offensive outburst. 3 runs in each of the last 2 frames. As I mentioned before, they've scored in every frame but one. First pitch, a called strike to Parker Chavers. And Chavers tonight has also shown what he can do with the bat. He launched a solo shot in the 5th inning. Garbrick's 0-1. Breaking ball chopper in between the legs of Goodman. That's foul 0-2. This Kettleers lineup already came into tonight first in the entire Cape League in home runs with 19. They've tacked on 1 more courtesy of Chavers. Hyannis getting a couple of their own as Hunter Goodman is still bent over a couple steps to the left of the home plate area. Goodman's taking the thumping back there. He's taking a couple foul balls off the legs. He appears to be all right. He's back into his crouch behind the plate as Chavers digs back in. Garbrick working with a 0-2 count against the Cotuit DH. In much need of a big punch out here with the runner in scoring position. The pitch. Fouled straight back. Chavers hanging tough with 2 strikes. Fouled off a tough fastball up and away. Aubrey Major once again gathering a short lead out at second base. Garbrick set at the belt. He gives a look back to Major. Now comes home. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Chavers goes down for the second out of the inning. He fans through a breaking ball down and away. And a much needed put out for Hyannis. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Christian Robinson.
And there's Garbrick's first strikeout. Just blows one by the hitter, Chavers, and comes up empty.
So Robinson digs in. Set for his 5th plate appearance of the evening. Walked and singled. That's how he's been on board twice tonight. A strikeout and a flyout to left as well. First pitch from Garbrick. Breaking ball inside. It gets past Goodman to the backstop. Major basically walking down the third base line. So he's 90 feet away from scoring the 13th run of the night for Cotuit. Garbrick slowly making his walk back to the rubber. He's got a 1-0 count here against Robinson. Cotuit's gotten the better of Hyannis a couple times this season. It looks like they'll hang on again as this one is slapped through the left side into left. Another base hit. Aubrey Major in to score. Christian Robinson picking up his second RBI of the night. It's 13-4. So Alex Garbrick once again having his struggles on the mound for Hyannis. And Cotuit just continues to pour it on.
And that one just finds a gap too. Robinson slaps one to the left side. It just splits Westberg and Julian, the third baseman and shortstop.
So for Hyannis, 13 runs on 11 hits given up. This is the catcher, Cody Pasek, stepping in. Robinson's aboard at first, still 2 down, top of the 7th. The 4 spot has been put up by Cotuit in this frame. High fastball. Couldn't pick out the top of the zone. It's 1-0. Cotuit has a 2-0 series lead this season against Hyannis. They took the first game here at McKeon Park. That was the second game of the season for the Harbor Hawks. Kettleers took that one going away 11-0 as a fastball misses down and away. Then, of course, on July the 1st, the 9-8 win. But the most runs that Hyannis has surrendered in a loss this season came against the YD Red Sox just a couple of days ago. That was a 13-1 defeat. 2-0 pitch, a breaking ball called strike. It's 2-1. And Cotuit, well, it's still 2 more plate appearances. So if they find a way to plate 1 more run, it would be the most Hyannis has surrendered in a loss this season, barring an epic comeback, of course. Garbrick set is 2-1. Fastball inside, 3 balls and a strike. Bit of a tough pitch on the inside part of the plate. Garbrick shaking the head. He wanted that call. Doesn't get it, and he's fallen behind Pasek again here, 3-1. Garbrick's offering. Inside, ball 4. So Pasek draws his second walk in as many plate appearances. Another runner in scoring position for Cotuit here for Casey Schmidt, the 9th man to hit here in the inning.
Yeah, they've hit around and they've just strung together at bat by at bat, hit by hit. And everybody in the lineup kind of refusing to be the last out here in the 7th.
It's been a long one for Hyannis. Cotuit's put up 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and now 4 here in the 7th with still 1 out to get for Hyannis. So they've climbed 1 rung up the ladder each of the last 4 frames as Goodman scampers to his right to corral a 1-0 curveball that missed. Cotuit was also 3rd in the league in hits coming into tonight with 143. They've piled on 11 more. The team in front of them was the team that Hyannis saw last night, the YD Red Sox. Garbrick's 1-0. Fastball high, 2-0. Still no action down in the left field line in the Hyannis pen. Same could be said down the right field side for Cotuit. Ballpark has grown quiet and fans are starting to head for the exits. Approaching the 9 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. The 2-0. Fastball chopper. Backhanded play by Westberg. He throws to first. It's going to pull Carlson off the bat. So that one will most likely be scored a base hit as that will load the bases. And Adam Oviedo is going to stride back to the plate for his second plate appearance in this inning.
Well, that was almost a highlight reel play from Westberg. Moving to his left, made the play up the middle, spin and through. It took Carlson just off the bag, and it extends the inning.
So the 12th hit of the night for Cotuit up on the board. Bases loaded here for Adam Oviedo, who already has chalked up an RBI tonight. Garbrick back to the windup. First pitch, a fastball inside. Oviedo's drawn a pair of walks. Matter of fact, one came earlier in this inning. Garbrick with the glove set belt high. He comes home for a 1-0. Breaking ball, a called strike at the top of the zone. Hyannis will be home here tomorrow for a doubleheader against the Bourne Braves. Bourne has already gone final tonight. They took down the Harwich Mariners 3-2. The 1-1. Breaking ball, that's outside, 2-1. Goodman had to move to his right and catch it on the backhand.
Yeah, so that just even more makes the doubleheader tomorrow that much more important. As everything holds tonight, Hyannis will be 7 points behind Bourne, but they find a way to pick up both wins, they could be back in good shape.
2-1 from Garbrick, a chopper left side. Julian fields it and can't tag the pace runner as he dives into third safely. Pasek avoids the tag and he's in safe, and that scores another run. Julian tried to go for the force at third, couldn't apply the tag in time. And Pasek doing his best to play some dodgeball there. Christian Robinson came home to cross the plate, and every runner is going to be safe.
Yeah, and tough for Julian. He could have had the play to first. He opted to try to go to third and realized his only play was to tag the runner, and he just missed Pasek as he dodged the tag, like you said.
All of this coming with 2 outs in this inning as Nick Gonzalez steps in for the second time in the 7th. Breaking ball is dropped in for a strike at the top of the zone. It's 0-1. 5 runs put up on the board by the Kettleers here in the 7th. Garbrick's 0-1. Cut and miss from Gonzalez, strike 2. Foul tipped into the mid of Goodman. So what has been a rather lengthy 7th inning for Hyannis has come down to 1 strike. Garbrick having Gonzalez in an 0-2 count. He fires home. Fastball fouled away. Taking a look at some of the other scores around the league, the Brewster Whitecaps took down the Whitey Red Sox 13-7 at Stony Brook Field. The Falmouth Commodores defeated the Chatham Anglers 3-2. And that means something for Hyannis. Harbor Hawks also chasing the Commodores in the Western Division. Garbrick's next 0-2 offering. Fastball, that's sent in the air to right field. Mosley ranging back toward the track at the wall. He reaches up and makes the catch, and that will finally end the inning. 11 men come to hit for the Kettleers in the 7th. They put up a 5 spot. They extend the lead up to 10. It's 14-4. Hyannis back to the dish when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Rigsby Mosley set to lead off the bottom of the 7th here from McKeon Park in Hyannis. And Cotuit has jumped all over the Harbor Hawks tonight. It's 14-4 Kettleers. The right-hander Kyle Nicholas out of Ball State back on the mound to face the Troy Trojan Rigsby Mosley. First offering, down low, 1 ball, no strikes. Mosley on the day. Reached base twice. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Nicholas winds, fires home. Downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes to the Trojan Mosley. The Kettleers have really spread out their offense tonight. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, none in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth, 5 in the 7th. Pitch to Mosley, called strike, and it's 2-1 the count. So all but the 3rd inning, Cotuit has pushed runs across. Mosley looking to jumpstart something in the 7th. Swings and pushes 1 foul behind him. 12 Cotuit hits to Hyannis' 8. But the Harbor Hawks have stranded their fair amount of runners on base. They've left 11 on so far tonight. Pitch to Mosley, swing and a miss, and he goes down swinging. Nicholas records a strikeout to begin the bottom of the 7th. And there's 1 away for pinch hitter Bryce Teodosio. So Teodosio is going to come in, hit for Rowdy Jordan. His night will end after going 1 for 3. He had some bad luck back in the 3rd. Rowdy hit an absolute line drive, looked like it was going to get into left center, but Adam Oviedo made a leaping grab and then beat Edward Julian back to the bag in a foot race, gave a head first dive and tagged the pillow to make it a double play. Now the offering to Bryce. Swing and a ground ball left side, charging in the third baseman Schmidt. He can't corral the ball with the bare hand, and Teodosio is going to beat it out. So that'll be likely ruled an infield single for Bryce. And he's just starting to creep that average back up and up as he finds his way on board with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. And just like that, there's going to be another pinch hitter. Brooks Carlson out of the game after finishing the night 1 for 3. And officially welcome back to Hyannis Ian Fair. Corner infielder out of Northeastern going to make a pinch hit appearance. As Cody Pasek, the main catcher, is on the mound to have a word with his Ball State right-hander Kyle Nicholas. So Fair back with the ball club after originally being let go. He spent a couple of weeks at home. And now here he is back to make a pinch hit appearance. He was 3 for his first 7 with a walk. Teodosio, the runner at first. He has a short lead. Nicholas out of the stretch. And the pitch to Fair. Upstairs, it's 1-0. Now, Ian didn't go play anywhere else in his couple weeks at home. He said he was just kind of spending some time doing tee work. He was at the gym lifting weights. He just had a couple weeks off, and he got the call to come back. Pitch from Nicholas. Swinging a pop-up foul out of play on the right side. And a lot of these guys, when they get let go, here up on the Cape League, they'll go play for some other teams. A lot of guys get sent to the New England Collegiate Baseball League. That's also here in the Northeast, of course. Some guys will go to the Northwoods League, among others, around the United States. Pitch to Fair is a called strike. It's 1-2. But Fair was just at home, lifting and basically doing some work on his own. And now he's got a second chance with the Hyannis Ball Club. His first appearance in game since coming back. 1-2. Down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Ian Fair in his school season hit .357 in 2019 with 8 bombs. He led the team in almost every offensive category. Now the 2-2. Punch the other way. It's going to get foul toward the Cotuit bullpen. Kettleers lead by 10. It's 14-4 in the bottom of the 7th. But for Fair, 21 multi-hit games in 2019. He ended his season on a 14-game hit streak. In fact, 10 of those were multi-hit games. His final 6 games were multi-hit games. 2-2 to Fair. Line drive. Snag on a liner by the pitcher. Nicholas throws back to first. It's a double play. So a line drive right back at the mound. Nicholas says, look what I found. Snags a liner out of midair and just tosses back to first to double off Teodosio. So Fair hit an absolute frozen rope, but just gets a bit unlucky, and that ends the bottom of the 7th. So for Hyannis, they put 3 to the plate, record 1 hit, no runs, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the 8th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Cam Hill, the Kentucky center fielder, set to come to the plate for the 6th time tonight as we bring you back to Hyannis for the top of the 8th. And right-hander Tyler Drabick's on the mound for the Harbor Hawk Ball Club, making his 2nd appearance as the Kent State righty fires off-speed swing and a miss from Hill. Drabick making his 2nd appearance. His first also came against the Kettleers. That was at Lowell Park less than a week ago. Works from the windup in the first base side, fires down low. It's 1-1. So Drabick threw 2 innings, or rather, this is his 3rd appearance. Threw against YD back on July the 3rd, so 2 days ago in the 13-1 loss. Comes home, called strike inside. It's 1-2. So this is his 3rd appearance. He's thrown 2 innings, walked 1, struck out 1, and given up 2 hits, as well as 2 earned runs. The righty peers over the glove, gets the sign from Goodman, and comes home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cam Hill punched out for the first time tonight, and it's the first strikeout of the day for the right-hander Tyler Drabick. So 1 gone. That'll bring up Matthew Mervis. He's made an impact so far tonight. 4 RBIs to his name. A sac fly, an RBI single back in at bat ago, and then, of course, the 2-run missile back in the top of the 1st down the right field line. Drabick's first pitch. Lined foul behind home plate and off the screen. So Drabick just completed his redshirt sophomore year for Kent State. Stands at 6'3", 205 pounds. Hails from North Canton, Ohio, where he attended Hoover High School. Pitch. Low and outside, 1-1. 4-pitch guy. Fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. Made 14 appearances in 31 1/3 innings in 2019. 1-0 with a 3.73 ERA. Now the 1-1. Popped foul just behind the home plate area and off the netting. Wind still blowing here at McKeon Park. Taking out toward right center. As Mervis puts his left hand to the top of his helmet, he now digs back in. One-two from Drabick. Ground ball right side. Olsen to his left, makes a diving stop, but can't make the throw to first. Comes in just a bit late as Mervis beats it out, and it's an infield single with one away. So Matthew Mervis finds the 3-4 gap. Jackson Olsen, who's come in as a defensive replacement, moving quickly to his left, made a nice diving stop, but would have been a really, really tough play to get to his feet and make a strong throw in time. He did rise. He did make the throw. It was just a little bit late. Mervis picks up his third hit tonight. Now it'll be switch hitting Aubrey Major back from the left side. Pitch from Drabick. Ground ball, right side, stop on the backhand by Fair, flips to second for one. That's the only play. Mervis retired. 3-6 fielder's choice from Fair to Westberg. And there's two down in the top of the 8th inning. But quickly, a couple of defensive changes for Hyannis. Bryce Teodosio in center field. He took over for Rowdy Jordan as he got a pinch hit appearance back in the bottom of the 7th. And now he just takes over the defensive duties as well. Ian Fair, who came in for Brooks Carlson, more of the same. Pinch hit appearance, taking over at first base. And Jackson Olsen's come into the game as a defensive replacement for Anthony Servideo. He stands at second. So when the bottom of the 8th comes around, Olsen will likely be the second man to the plate as he's set to hit in Servideo's spot. Now it'll be a pinch hitter for Parker Chavers. It's Robert Martin. Pitch. Outside ball one. So Robbie Martin, an outfielder from Florida State. On the season, Robbie Martin's yet to record a hit. He's 0 for his first 4. Out of the stretches, Drabick fires home. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. So a lot of these Florida State guys, including Hyannis' own Jonas Scalaro, got here a bit late in the season. That's due to their play out in Omaha as their season stretched out longer than just about everybody in college baseball. They were one of the final 8 teams remaining as they got to partake in this year's College World Series as Martin swings through a Drabick offering. It's 2-1. 14-4 the score. All 4 of Hyannis' runs have been due credit of home runs from Jordan Westberg. He has 2 tonight. 2-1. Down low, 3-1 the count. Westberg an opposite field blast in the 4th inning. That was a 3-run home run. And then a solo shot out to left field. That came back in the bottom of the 6th, and that was a no-doubter. Drabick's 3-1. Upstairs, and he lost him. So Robbie Martin draws a 2-out walk. Major will advance to second. And it'll bring up Christian Robinson. Robinson today has reached base 3 times. He's 2 for 4 to go along with a walk and 2 runs scored, as well as 2 RBIs. Drabick checks the runner Major at second. No hold from Westberg. Comes home. Good breaking ball for a strike. So Hyannis looking to avoid any further damage here in the top of the 8th. A run is yet to come across. Up to this point, the 3rd inning has been the only time Cotuit hasn't scored. Drabick kicks and deals. Swing and a miss, it's 0-2. Robinson, the left fielder out of Stanford. Comes into the at-bat, hitting .292. He's had himself a pretty productive summer. Infield playing back, Julian just behind the bag at 3rd. 0-2 from Tyler Drabick, line drive right at the shortstop. Westberg, he makes the grab to end the inning. So a line shot off the bat. of the hitter Christian Robinson goes directly at the Mississippi State Bulldog Jordan Westberg. And the top of the 8th comes to an end with Cotuit being held off the scoreboard for just the second time all night. It's 14-4 Kettleers. For Cotuit in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Mitch McIntyre, followed by Jackson Olsen and Jordan Westberg, the 3 due to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th inning from McKeon Park. The 9-1-2 set to come to bat, and it's 14-4 Cotuit through 7.5 frames. They have a new arm on the mound as the right-hander Cole Ramage deals a fastball low and into the hitter McIntyre. For Cole Ramage, a right-hander out of the University of Arkansas, he's making his second appearance on the summer. He's thrown 3 innings to this point, then a start where he struck out 2, gave up 4 hits, didn't walk anybody. Offered a McIntyre, ground ball right side to his left. Gonzalez spins, throws to first, and there's 1 away. So pretty nice play from Nick Gonzalez, quickly moving over to his left, makes the play on the lip of the infield. A quick spin and a fire over to Mervis at first for the first out of the inning. So 1 away. That'll bring up Jackson Olsen, who already came in as a defensive replacement for Anthony Servideo. He's now just going to hit in his spot. Servidio's day ends after going 1 for 2 with a pair of walks. Pitch to Olsen's low and away. Single in the first, walk in the second, walk in the fourth, and he'd later score on the Westberg 3-run homer. Pitch to Olsen, checks his swing and goes around to level the count. Then Servideo struck out to end the bottom of the 5th. Offering to Olsen, slap toward the left side through the 5-6 gap, a base hit. So Jackson Olsen comes in and puts together a base knock the other way. As he continues to swing a hot bat as of late here on Cape Cod. So that'll bring up Jordan Westberg. But how about Jackson Olsen? Came into the at-bat hitting .273. Westberg pinwheels the bat out at the mound. The righty Ramaj comes set. Fires over to first. Olson back with a head first dive. So with that base hit for Jackson, he's now made it a 5-game hitting streak. And he's also got hits in 6 of his last 7 contests and 7 of his last 9. Offering to Westberg, down low, it's 2-1. So Olson really starting to figure it out, and we're seeing it with a lot of these guys as of late. Rigsby Mosley's been in more of the same category. His average right now, sitting at 256. It was above 260 earlier in the ball game. He's really swinging the bat well. Olson swinging the bat well. And Jordan Westberg, well, he's certainly swinging the bat well. This is his first appearance on Cape Cod, and he's already raised some eyebrows. 2 for 4 with 2 home runs. Pitch down low, 3 balls, 1 strike. So Westberg flew out twice in his first 2 at-bats. A 3-run blast out to right center and a solo shot to dead left. Pitch from Ramaj, down low, and Olson will stay at first. So it's 3-0 rather. 3-0 the count to the Mississippi State Bulldog, Jordan Westberg. Westberg, 23 multi-hit games in 2019, 15 multi-RBI games. And in 1 start with the Harbor Hawks, he's already got a multi-hit game. He's already got a multi-RBI game. 3-0. Upstairs, and he lost them. So Jordan Westberg draws a 4-pitch walk. Can you blame Ramaj? He didn't want any part of the Bulldog as he lost them on 4 pitches. He trots down to first. And there's runners on first and second for Jared DeSantolo. Well, we'll see what Westberg has in store the rest of the summer. Probably not going to hit 2 long balls every night. But he set some pretty lofty expectations on night 1, and there's no reason not to have some for him. A really, really phenomenal player out of the SEC. DeSantolo now the hitter. He's been a phenomenal player for the Harbor Hawks this season. First pitch, down low, 1 ball, no strikes. Jared today reached base 3 times, but he's 1 for 3 with a walk. His 1 hit came on a single back in the first inning where he was stranded at second base. Ramaj, the right-hander, working out of the stretch, shifted toward the first base side of the rubber. Offering, down low, 2-0. Jared DeSantolo entered play today, 5th in the league in average. Came into the game hitting .341. He's got hits in 3 of his last 5 games. Offering, outside, and it's 3-0. And along with that, he's got hits in 7 of his last 10. This is a guy who has just picked up hit after hit as the season goes on. Ramaj set with a 3-0 count. Kettleer's leading by 10. It's 14-4. The pitch on the outside corner with a fastball, strike 1. Now, DeSantolo hit 2 home runs in his sophomore year at FAU. He does have some sneaky power. His frame size, that being DeSantolo, 6'0", 185 pounds. 3-1. Ground ball right side. Gonzalez to his left, fields cleanly, fires over to first, and there's 2 away. So DeSantolo sends Olson over to third, Westberg up to second. And there's 2 down for the hitter, Hunter Goodman, with Hyannis having an opportunity to bring a couple back. But Jared just kind of taking what's been given to him so far this summer. Not afraid to hit the other way. In fact, he's really good at it. And it's just racked up countless base hits. So with the hit tonight, he's had hits in 8 of his last 11 games. Goodman watches a fastball in. Meanwhile, for Hunter, he's got an RBI streak hanging in the balance here tonight. 4 straight starts, he's picked up an RBI to this point. Offering swing and a miss over the top of a breaking ball, it's 1-1. So Goodman, who's tied for third in the league in home runs with 3. Much like Nick Gonzalez, who stands out at second base, he shifted up the middle. But Goodman has recorded at least an RBI in his last 4 starts. Offering, swing and a miss, another breaking ball. It comes up empty. It's 1-2. So Goodman, the home run last night at YD. He had 2 RBIs in that game with a solo bomb and an RBI single. Offering, swing and a miss, strike 3, inning over. Goodman leaves 2 on base as he strikes out to end the bottom of the 8th. And the score will stay at bay. It's 14-4 Cotuit through 8 frames. Hyannis in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. We'll go to the 9th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 9th set to get underway for McKeon Park in Hyannis, as the Kettleers will send up Cody Pasek, Casey Schmidt, and Adam Oviedo, the bottom third of their order, to the plate, with the Kettleers leading large. It's 14-4 Cotuit, with Tyler Drabeck back on the mound for inning number 2. First offering, good for a strike right at the knees. Hyannis and Cotuit, the last game remaining tonight. Everything else is finished up. Brendan touched on some of the scores earlier. As Drabeck looks over the glove, it's buried in his face as he shakes off a couple signs. Now he gets one he likes. Lifts and deals home. Ground ball up the middle to his right. Olsen backhands cleanly, throws to first, and there's one away. Pasek retired for the 3rd time tonight. That'll bring up Casey Schmidt. To get back to those scores, there's been a lot of them, but the 2 that matter for the most in terms of Hyannis, the Falmouth Commodores, who played a doubleheader with Chatham today, they split with the Anglers, winning the first one 3-2, dropping the second one 6-5. Now it's Casey Schmidt, the hitter. He's 2 for 3 with 2 walks. Pitch, line drive into short right field. It's blooping down in front of Rigsby Mosley for a base hit. Have a day, Casey Schmidt. He reaches base for the 5th time tonight, makes it a 3-hit evening, and has the first base runner of the inning aboard for Cotuit. Meanwhile, for the Bourne Braves, they won 3-2 out at Doran Park tonight against the Harwich Mariners. So they took down the last place Eastern Division team 3-2, a 2-hour, 20-minute affair. So a really quick ball game. here in Hyannis, we're approaching the 3-hour, 30-minute mark. Offering hits Oviedo on the back, and that'll send him down to first base. So a hit by pitch to Oviedo. That's his third free pass tonight. And Cotuit has runners on first and second. So for Bourne, with the win tonight, they move to 7-11, 14 points on the season. And for Falmouth, they'll move to 9-8-1 with 19 points. So Hyannis, assuming that everything stays pretty much at bay tonight, will trail Bourne by 7 points. But the Braves come into McKeon for a doubleheader tomorrow, and if Hyannis can find a way to pick up both wins, they'll be right back in the thick of it. Pitch to Nick Gonzalez, the leadoff hitter. That plunks him on the back. 2 straight hit-by pitches issued by Tyler Drabeck, and Cotuit's loaded the bases for Cam Hill. So Hill, 2 hits tonight. Also 2 free passes. As a whole, he's 2 for 4. Bases are loaded. Schmidt at third. Oviedo at second. Gonzalez at first as Drabeck works back to the windup. He lifts and fires the first pitch. Swinging a pop-up foul out of play. So this doubleheader tomorrow is going to be huge for Hyannis. If they can find a way to pick up 4 points on Bourne and trail by 3, it's anybody's game. A 1. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. They split. Point differential will obviously stay the same. They'll trail Bourne by 7 points. As Drabeck gets the sign, the 1-1. Pop up down the left field line. Julian giving brief chase, but he's going to watch it sail just in play, but had no chance at it, landing toward the Harbor Hawk bullpen down the left field line. Although if Bourne comes in and wins both of the games in the doubleheader tomorrow, it's going to create a really big hole for Hyannis. Tonight, they're in a decent hole as well. 14-4 Cotuit the score. 1-2 from Drabeck. Swing and a miss. He got him. So 2 away. Cam Hill strikes out to bring up Matthew Mervis. And Tyler Drabeck records his second strikeout tonight. Funny enough, both of them have come to Cam Hill. Mervis now the hitter. But back to the doubleheader tomorrow. If Bourne wins both, they'll sit 11 points ahead of Hyannis. The offering. Line drive into left center field. That's going to fall between the outfielders for a base hit. 1 run scores. Another coming around. Mervis thinking 2 as he slides in safely. Schmidt and Oviedo both score. Schmidt from third. Oviedo from second. Gonzalez goes from first to third. And Matthew Mervis picks up a 2 RBI double to make it 16-4 Cotuit.
Well, when things go bad, they really go bad. And the wheels came off a while ago for Hyannis, but Cotuit, absolutely a relentless approach at the plate. Another double, picking up a couple more RBIs, Matt Mervis, and have yourself a day. 6 RBIs for Mervis on the night.
Quite the evening. Aubrey Major now the hitter. He has 2 RBIs tonight. Pitch. Outside, 1-0. But yeah, Brendan, I think it's safe to say tomorrow is a big, big day for Hyannis. If they can't find a way to at least split the doubleheader, Drabeck fires home, swinging a foul back. It could be a tough uphill climb. I mean, 11 points just about halfway into the season, as tomorrow will be exactly halfway through the season for Hyannis when both the doubleheaders conclude, as they will have played 22 of 44 games. 11 points to make up in 22 games is not incredibly easy. Pitch to Major, ground ball right back to Drabeck, comes in and out of his glove, but fields cleanly, fires to first, and that'll end the inning. Fair gives a little bit of an acrobatic as he reaches over Major to grab the baseball and keep his foot on the bag, but it'll end the top of the ninth. Cotuit in the inning, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. So we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Last licks for Hyannis. It's 16-4 Cotuit on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the ninth set to get underway from McKeon Park, and Hyannis with their last ups here from Hyannis. Edward Julian, the man due to the plate. He'll be followed by Rigsby Mosley and Bryce Teodosio. As Cole Ramage, the right-hander, fires home. Julian swings and shoots a high fly ball deep down the left field line. That's going to drop in and one hop the wall. Over the head of Robinson. Julian thinking two, and he stands up with no play. So Edward Julian with a double to lead off the bottom of the ninth inning. And that's his third double in as many games. So Julian, a double here at home 2 nights ago against YD. A double at Red Wilson Field yesterday. And a 2-bagger here at McKeon Park tonight against Cotuit.
Well, just a good piece of hitting that time. He took a fastball on the outside part of the plate, drove it the other way, and no chance for Robinson to try and range after it. Just had to play it on a one hop off the wall and an easy double.
Rigsby Mosley now the hitter. Ramage is going to work out of the stretch, comes home. Inside fastball pushes Mosley off the plate a little bit. So Edward Julian's made a nice impact since coming in. Hitting .400, of course, at bats very, very limited, but 2 for 4 tonight. And again, 3 straight games with a double. Mosley swings and misses through a fastball to even the count. So tonight was game 3 of 6 between these two teams. Game 3 of what is labeled as the Patriot Cup every year between the two ball clubs. Mosley swings and chops one foul behind the plate. This is the second of 3 matchups here at McKeon Park. There will be one more upcoming later on in the season. Now, why is it named the Patriot Cup? Well, the annual series between the two teams is named after the fact that the Barnstable Patriot newspaper is shared between the two towns. Offering to Mosley, outside it's 2-2. Now, last season, the Cup went in favor of the Kettleers. They won 5 games to 1. In fact, they won 5 straight after Hyannis won the opener. So 5-1, they clinched the Cup on their own home field. Now the 2-2, swing and a miss from Mosley. There's one away. So Ramage blows a fastball by the Troy product Rigsby Mosley, who strikes out for the second time tonight. And there's one on with one away. Second strikeout of the night for Ramage, and it brings up Bryce Teodosio. So again, after tonight, these two teams will be halfway through the Patriot Cup. But barring a 12-run comeback for Hyannis here in the ninth, the Kettleers will be up 3-0 in the series. Pitch to Bryce, swinging a pop-up foul out of play. The last time these two matched up, of course, less than a week ago at Lowell Park, Hyannis erased a 5-run deficit in the 8th, but an Arajanu home run gave them the 9-8 win. 16-4 the score. Julian, the runner at second with no hold. Pitch to Bryce, good inside fastball, it's 0-2. So Cotuit, if they hang on and win tonight, they'll move to 10-9-2 with 22 points on the season. Ramage the 0-2. Bryce swings and misses in the dirt. Pasic's going to complete the strikeout, throw over to first, and there's 2 away. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the bottom of the ninth for Cole Ramage. And the final hope rests on the bat of Ian Fair. So to take a look around the scores again, regarding the West Division, Wareham absolutely pounded Orleans at Spillane Field tonight by a score of 15-4. So Wareham's going to stay atop the West Division in first place. Pitch to Ian. Breaking ball good for a strike. They moved to 11-8-1. 23 points to their name. And in fact, everybody in the West Division is going to pick up at least 1 win tonight. Pitch to Fair, line drive into left field. It's going to fall for a hit. Julian stops at third. Fair hits the bag at first, and he'll stay right there. But welcome back, Ian Fair. His second at bat, he ropes a single into left field to keep the ball game alive.
Well, again, Fair just keeping his hands inside the baseball, squaring one up quite nicely and sent it into left field. So keeping the game alive for the time being.
Now Mitch McIntyre, the hitter. Jackson Olsen awaits on deck if we get there. But again, everybody in the West Division picking up at least one win. Falmouth, of course, played 2 games today, and they split a pair with Chatham. Pitch to McIntyre, up high, it's 1-0. Hyannis hasn't quite been as fortunate. Jordan Westberg has. He's got a pair of home runs tonight and responsible for all 4 RBIs. Pitch to Mitch, down low, 2-0. But the rest of the ball club, not as successful. Ramaj, up to this point in the ball game, thrown an inning and 2/3. He looks to retire McIntyre for the potential final out of this game. 16-4 Kettleers. Cotuit with 14 hits, Hyannis with 12. Offering, breaking ball good for a strike. It's 2-1. And pick your poison from the Cotuit offense today. Everybody getting on the board. In fact, every Kettleers player in the starting lineup scored a run tonight. Pitch to Mitch. It plunks him right on that back foot, and it'll be a hit by pitch to extend the inning further. So McIntyre removes his ankle guard, drops his bat just to the left of home plate, and he walks down to first. Fair advances to second, and the bases are loaded for Jackson Olsen. Olsen came in as a pinch hitter and roped a single in his last at bat. Replaced Anthony Servideo, who had a 1-for-2 day with a pair of walks. Ramaj from the stretch fires home. The righty hits the outside corner for a strike. Left-handed hitting Olsen. Infielder out of Hartford, looking to drive in a couple runs with the bases packed. Kettleers up by 12. Pitch to Olsen. Low and away, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. So Hyannis has left their fair share of runners on base tonight. In fact, 13 runners left on so far in the ballgame. Pitch to Olsen. Ground ball out to the second baseman, Gonzalez. This should do it. Gobbles it up, throws to first, and that's the ball game. Cotuit wins Game 3 of the Patriot Cup 16-4 and downs Hyannis here on their home ballpark for the second time in as many tries.
Well, tonight, I mean, just a really, really tough one, and all around, just not a good showing from Hyannis tonight. A lot of walks, a lot of men left on base tonight. You mentioned 13 in the ball game. And for Cotuit, just an offensive outpouring. I mean, they just squared balls up, inning in and inning out, and they just never let up. And they put up 16 runs on the board tonight. Hyannis with 4. And Cotuit, and then take a 3-0 lead in the Patriot Cup.
So, Brendan, you talked about the runners left on base. It was 13. That was, of course, before the game just ended. So you look at the runners left on base for both teams. Cotuit left 16 on base. Hyannis left 16 on base. So a lot of opportunities on the base paths for each team. So it was just a simple fact of the matter of Kettleers took more advantage.
And they really did capitalize. And, you know, Hyannis could look at themselves and consider themselves fortunate that it wasn't a lot worse than what it was at 16-4. You mentioned 16 aside. So for Hyannis, if they capitalized on some of those opportunities and the bullpen was just a tiny bit better, it could have been a little different here tonight, but not the case as a 16-4 win for the Kettleers.
Looking to tomorrow. Doubleheader against Bourne. Maybe the most important day of the season up to this point. What is going to be the key to not only just splitting, but really taking it to Bourne and having a chance to take both games of the doubleheader?
Well, like you said, you have 2 games, so you have 2 shots at it, but I think it's all about consistency and a patient approach. You can't wear yourself out in game 1 to try and take that one. I mean, you need both, and that is the ultimate goal, to win both. But if you can somehow salvage just one, you still put yourself in not the best situation, but going forward, you still have an opportunity to work your way back. If you drop both, however, that's when things get a bit shaky and things, you know, the window fogs up a little bit on the outlook toward the playoffs.
So one final time, Cotuit wins by a final score of 16-4 here from Hyannis. The Kettleers move to 10-9-2 on the season with 22 points. Hyannis drops to 3-16-1, still sitting at 7 points. The final lines for each team: Cotuit, 16 runs, 15 hits, 1 error, and they leave a total of 15 left on base, rather. For Hyannis, 4 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. They also leave a total of 15 left on base. So 30 runners left on base, 15 from each side. Richard Brereton, the right-hander out of Emory, picks up the win tonight, with Sam Thorson of Hyannis suffering the loss. An absolute marathon of a ball game as well, and you can expect that in a 20-run contest combined between the two teams. 3 hours, 36 minutes. First pitch was set at 6:08, went all the way to 9:44. With Cotuit, once again, taking the final 16-4. That'll do it for us tonight. For Brendan Howe, I'm Lyle Goldstein. We thank you so much for spending your evening with us, and we'll talk to you tomorrow for an important doubleheader against the Bourne Braves. First pitch set for 3 p.m. Join us just 15 minutes before for the pregame show. Hyannis and Bourne tomorrow for a double dip here at McKeon Park. For one final time, Brendan Howe, Lyle Goldstein. We'll talk to you tomorrow.